Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Tune. I am your host, Josh, and with me is my co-host here.
What's up? It's your boy Nick.
And we got two special guests with us today. We have both Elijah here, and we have good old Chill. So I've been knowing these guys for a while now. Um, what the hell is happening in the background? What the fuck is going on?
Oh, sorry about that. My girl's getting ice.
Okay, I'm like, what the fuck?
Man, what
That
oh,
Jesus, I was like, what the hell? So we got Chill and Elijah here. Elijah, he's got his own podcast called Back to the Topic podcast, and
yes,
uh,
sir.
and Chill, he's a fellow Twitch guy. He streams on Twitch, DJ, very good. I got we've been trying to work on a little thing, a little lo-fi video that we've been trying to work on. Me and Chill has been going on, but I've been knowing these guys for a while, part of the same community of another podcast. So just introduce you, just tell a little about yourselves and what you do and who you are. Elijah, go ahead first, man.
I got you, man. So, like Josh was saying, I'm one of the co-hosts from this podcast called Back to the Topic. It was started by my buddy Patrick. I call him Pat. He decided about a year and a half ago that he wanted to do a music-based podcast. He kind of just threw it out there, and he ended up meeting my buddy Walter. We all went to the same college for the most part, and so those two were friends first. And I just so happened to bump into Walter like as I was a bouncer at one of the bars locally at the college. And eventually they told me like, "Hey, I got a podcast." And around the same time, I was like, "Well, I'm in a podcast. What do you guys talk about?" They're like, "Oh, mostly music, pop culture, things like that." And I'm not the biggest music person, but over time doing this podcast, I got more and more into music, and I've been able to build together an actual, somewhat legitimate opinion about new music that's out there. Uh, the blessing for us that happened when they brought me on, I was able to bring some ideas, especially when COVID hit, because I feel like for a lot of people, once COVID started, you had all that free time during quarantine. If you didn't utilize that free time to maximize your platform, maximize your brand, I feel like you're just kind of wasting your time. And so I told them like, we can hit YouTube hard, we can hit TikTok hard. Let's try to up the social media game, things like that. And so over time, over the last year, we're about 90 episodes in. I think I've been on for about 80 of them for myself. TikTok channels at 41,000 followers right now. YouTube sitting at 1,800. And so
Nice.
it's steady, just trying to build up, man.
Yeah. Chill. What about you, man?
I like to call Elijah and his crew Black Famous. So
Yeah.
keep,
Cause
Instagram always.
didn't Elijah? Hey, didn't Afro Man shout you guys out? Right? You got that video up on your YouTube channel. Right?
Bro, he was so this man. 'Cause I was a bouncer that day. He was performing. I got called on to work that night, and he was super drunk. Like he was super crossfaded. And he didn't call us back to the top. He said, "Hey, get back to the top, baby. Go on YouTube, check out Back to the Top." I'm like, thanks. I was like, appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah. And to show I'm not lying, I'm gonna pull it up here on stream, your channel here on YouTube, and right there, there's Afro Man right there. Afro Man supports our channel. Check him out right there. Yeah. Yeah, and the people don't know Afro Man. So Afro Man he was kind of, I guess you would consider a one hit wonder type of guy. He
I
had
take three.
and he had a song called "Because I Got High." And if you know, it was like a big, huge hit back in the day. When did that song come out? It came out in what was it? '01 maybe.
Probably.
I think around that time.
Yeah, it was just one of those just like super stupid stoner songs that it was like an easy song. It was such an easy song. So it was just
Yeah.
one of those things.
Oh yeah.
It was just something that you heard it played in every single college dorm.
Right.
Yeah.
That and Colt 45. I feel like Colt 45. There's a third one, I think. What's
Coke
the other
45.
one?
He say like I got a Coke 45 and a cigarette or something like that.
Yeah, Colt 45, two zigzags. Baby, that's all I need. Go to the bar after dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke a lot, but trust me, I don't really like subjugate myself to that shit. I don't even like uh what's the Cheech and Chong. I don't even fuck with Cheech and Chong like that. But
I've never seen it.
but other than that, I mean, I'll get my intro out the way too. Shit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I started Twitch streaming. I mean, other than that, man, I've been really like doing shit for like damn near over 10 years, almost over 10 years. Just in broadcasting and internet radio and fucking like doing like the street stuff. Where like my first big concert that I went to like backstage was uh Currency, and I remember I had got in touch with their peoples or whatever, and I got back there, and I met like Freddie Gibbs that night. This shit was like back in 2011, 2012, and ever since then, I got like hella interviews on YouTube, and DJing was like some shit I was gonna end up picking up anyway, because like I would think I was telling y'all, man, I was doing the DJ podcast for So Many Shrimp, and when I was doing that, and shit, when COVID came around, and shit, I ended up getting me a board, man, and really started like just doing that shit. And ever since then, I just been doing it for a year, and shit, it's been dope. I just kind of do it on my own, and kind of really I don't know, be around like that. But I'm like a lurker, so I keep it that way, and that's the shit I try to cultivate on Twitch,
Yeah.
which is becoming cool now. Not
Yeah.
because of me, but I mean, yes, maybe.
And your Twitch channel is called The Chill Spot, right? So it's DA and then chill and then spot. So I'm gonna try to pull up your channel here real quick if I can here. If everything will cooperate with me, just to give you guys an idea of what Chill does over there. And he usually streams. You stream pretty early in the morning, which is good for me because I come off of work pretty early, so I'm able to catch his streams and see him. He's always hanging out and everything like that. So let me pull up your stream here. Got it on my stream. So here you go. Everybody go follow good old Chill here. See that man working DJ, got a lot of Funko Pops, got his all equipment set up there. Yeah, very chill. And he's what we say?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, Ricky, man, you gotta shout out Dirty Rick. That's the star of the show, man. Dirty Rick right there.
Oh yeah.
That's you know.
Do you ever get any trouble since you've been DJing and playing music? Any DMCA things or from Twitch or anything?
I'm publishing and man, so you're probably not gonna see these up there for that long, So I just unpublish them afterwards, and it's kind of like, but everybody does it now. Like Academics was on his, doing his, playing the whole Drake out, So
Okay. Yeah. And Chill is like one of the two people I know that play Marvel's Avengers on their own stream. He loves that game. He's been playing that,
Bro.
Yeah, he's been playing the hell out of the Black Panther. Yeah. The Black Panther DLC and everything like that.
I've told you, and I was waiting for you to say it. I told you, man. I bought this game, Nick. I bought this game for Black Panther, man. I understand how it's going. I understand how people feel about it. I bought this game because of Black Panther. I was like, I don't know if they're gonna announce it. If they do, more than likely they will. I want this game for Black Panther, and that's the only thing I spend money on that game is Black Panther.
Yeah.
But the game is bad. The game is bad. The game was cheeks, bro. It just was a laggy mess. It was trying to do like this whole. It was like the worst version of Destiny and Borderlands, and it was just an absolute mess.
Yeah, I heard it's gotten a little bit better because of the updates, and then now it's much cheaper now. And then I heard the Black Panther DLC is pretty good. I don't know. I've been thinking about maybe contemplating picking it up since it's like $20 now. Like it's like $20-something, and because I would want to hang out, play with Chill, so that's what I would want to do. So, hang out. Both be Black Kings and Marvel's Avengers. You know what I mean? We already Black Kings in real life, but Black Kings, also virtually as well. That would also help. So yeah, but hey, shout out to Vivian from over at Stream Queens. Thank you very much, Vivian. She subscribed because it is September, so it's 20% off of all subscriptions to every single channel on Twitch. So that's great. Thank you so much, Vivian.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, she's very awesome. You guys check her out. Very much so. She's a great streamer. Her and the Stream Queens. Yeah. So this is Vivian. And we also got a follow from Haas there. Nice follow. Thank you for the follow there, Haas, very much. For the topics today, we have Shang Chi, of course, the big movie that's
It's pronounced Shang Chi.
Oh yeah, Shang Chi. I'm sorry,
Shang-Chi.
Shang Chi. I'm just gonna say,
Shang-Chi. My girlfriend, she's a Chinese. She was giving me like an entire like language lesson about how to pronounce it last night. It was like, it's Shang-Chi. It's Shang-Chi.
Yeah, Shang-Chi. Okay. So we got that, Legend of the Ten Rings. We're also going to be discussing Mortal Kombat. They came out with a sequel to the animated film, so called Battle of the Realms, which was it's a sequel to the
sequel to the awesome animated film.
Scorpion's Revenge. So we're going to be checking that out. What If Episode 4? We're also going to be discussing that. That just dropped, so we're going to be reviewing that. This one with Doctor Strange is the main focus, so going to be doing a nice good What If review of that. And we're going to be doing Kanye West Donda. It finally dropped. Finally happened. You know what I mean? Hell froze over. The album finally came, so that's nice. And as well as Drake's Certified Lover Boy. His barber can finally be free of cutting that heart in his head now. And he's finally released it. It's done. His barber doesn't have to cut that heart in his head no more. And we're going to be discussing that.
How many creepy references to Millie Bobby Brown are in that album?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Talking about texting, DMing. You know what I mean. Also, that album cover is the weirdest album cover I've seen. I've seen a lot of weird.
It's like somebody just cut and pasted like the fucking pregnant girl emoji.
Yeah, it's really weird. So we're going to be discussing that. Also get into some news. Not much, a whole lot of news, but we're going to be giving a quick tribute to Ed Asner, who recently passed away at 91. So just discuss his whole long, kind of story career, how he had impact on us, and how we know him, and also Tyron Woodley, Jake Paul, discussing that. The black community took an L. That's a shame. So we're going to be discussing that as well. Also,
black community took an L. The MMA community took an L. The people who paid to watch that took an L.
The city of Cleveland took an L.
Who pirated it took an L.
So we're going to be talking about that. And also Nia DaCosta. She made a little bit of history recently, so we're also going to be talking about that. So how is everybody doing? Everybody good?
All good to go.
Nice. Nick, how you doing? How you feeling, man?
Fantastic. I'm doing good. Got my coffee. My dog's happy. She's actually, my girlfriend, she's taking our dog to for a little girls' day out, so I get the place to myself.
Oh, okay.
Nick, what time is it where you're at?
It's 11:30 a.m. here in Japan.
Whoa, dude. You're in Japan. That makes more sense. Okay, because it's 10:30 at night for me.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. And me and Chill, we're in the same place, so it's the same time for us here. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, I mean, hey, we...
And I'm over.
Oh, we say?
I said I'm just over here struggling. I'm trying to post all of y'all links everywhere.
Oh, hey, thank you, man. Hey, I appreciate that, man.
You, man.
Yeah, shout out for the love, man. So all right, so we're gonna get into Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. I just discussed the news real quick, and then we'll get into Shang Chi. So, everybody here see the fight?
Nope.
Sadly, yes.
Clips.
Okay, so
Sadly.
So Chill, you saw it, but Elijah, you didn't, right?
I'm not a sports person, and I think those celebrity fights are for money, so I'm just not gonna promote that. Plus, the Paul brothers.
All fights are for money, dude.
Right.
True, but there are better fights than others.
Yeah. So with this fight, so you had Tyron Woodley, who's 39, correct, right?
Yeah, 39 years old, former UFC welterweight champion.
Yeah.
And in his last 5 has been on a 5-fight losing streak. And not just that, has been on a 30-round losing streak. He hasn't won a round in 5 years.
Yeah.
What?
But there's a difference between losing 5 in a row to the absolute murderer's row that is the UFC's welterweight division, and losing to Jake Paul.
Right. So I saw a little bit of the fight. I was and then I went back and watched a lot of the highlights of it too. First of all, I mean, Tyron Woodley, as far as the fight goes, I think this is probably the most challenged Jake Paul has been. in regards to like a fight, because I mean he's fighting a person who, even though he is 39, this is someone who's probably in the best shape that he's fought, because like Nate Robinson had been retired for the NBA for a few years, and also it was somebody who looked like they had no idea what they were doing in the boxing ring. So that was an easy W, and plus he was like 5'9", and Tyron Woodley I think is also the same height too as Nate Robinson. I think he's like 5'9" too. And then you had Ben Askren, who's mostly known as a wrestler, but he was also retired for a bit, for like a year or so. But he was
retired and coming off of a hip replacement.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
yeah. So he wasn't in the best of shape. So this was a guy that, even though he's older up there, was somebody who was in much better shape, and someone who's known as kind of a striker in the MMA. Even though he does have great wrestling and grappling experience, I mean, he was like a wrestling champion in, I think, high school.
I think he was a 2-time collegiate All-American wrestler.
Yeah, so he's got great wrestling ability. First of all, when the fight first kind of started, he came out very much looking like an MMA fighter. Kind of a squat stance, and then kind of like looking to do quick strikes and jabs, and then looking for the takedown. That's what kind of he looked like doing it. Nick, what did you think about kind of the opening and kind of the beginning of the fight there?
So with the opening of the fight, I thought Woodley, because Woodley's in his last like 5 fights, he's had a bad habit of like backing himself up into the ropes and just not throwing anything. And here I like that he was like moving forward the entire fight, but he still wasn't throwing shit. He didn't do nothing.
That's his only progress moving forward.
Yeah. That's it. And yeah, it's just sad that the guy's never been like this big combination puncher, even though like the commentators are all saying, yeah, Woodley needs to throw combinations. His coaches are like screaming at it. He's never been that guy. He's always been the just throw like a quick jab and then set up his big overhand right, which he actually caught Jake with in the 4th round.
Yeah.
But then went back to just plodding forward and doing nothing for the rest of the fight.
Makes sense now, because that's the only clip that I've seen with that right. He ain't coming over.
Yeah, and I can play that clip right now. I'll show it on stream right here. So this is what a lot of people are talking about, and what leads a lot of people to believe it's rigged. So you have this where you say you caught him with the big overhand right, and then it stumbled him, and then stumbled Jake. Some people say that, well, the ropes kind of saved him because, like he would have been,
which they did.
He would have been pretty much knocked down if the ropes had been there. But a lot of people saying it's rigged because when he did that, when Tyron knocked him into the ropes, he didn't pursue forward. I mean, people were like screaming, like, "Go ahead, attack, attack, attack!" But he didn't. You know what I mean? He let him just back up, and it's just like, what are you doing? I mean, this was blood in the water for you. You should have kept going.
But say he's rocked, and then like a Hail Mary of an uppercut comes through, and now Tyron Woodley's on his ass. Woodley's been in the game long enough and has had that exact situation happen to him. He's like rocked people and then like pressed forward and gotten caught.
Mm.
Do you think Jake Paul's skilled enough to do that kind of counterattack?
I mean, he looked pretty gassed. I mean,
I think he's got a puncher's chance. That's it, really.
Yeah, because I mean, in the fight, Jake Paul did catch him a couple times with some good, combinations. Because he actually knows how to do string combinations together. You know what I mean? Because he's been doing it, boxing, strictly. So he actually knows how to do combinations. That's what's kind of one thing that was getting Tyron in the fight. And I think kind of the thing about it is, as Tyron, a lot of people were also criticizing, he just wasn't very aggressive. It was a lot of just kind of waiting. And then somebody said, well, he's very much of a counterpuncher, Tyron is. I don't know how much Nick can comment on that. So do you think Tyron
is?
Okay, so he's just very much
of a counter. Early in his career, he was that big, marauding, just gonna just run from like 5 feet across the cage and then hit you with the right hand and it's over. He was that guy early in his career. But I think as his career's gone and he's won the title and defended it, like I think 3 times, he became more of that counterpuncher. But I think that's indicative of the guys he was fighting. He was fighting guys like Wonderboy Thompson, who's one of the best counter strikers in the entire world, and is a ridiculous guy to try and figure out. And Woodley did it twice. Damian Maia, some of the world's best jiu-jitsu, and he shut him down. Darren Till, who was like really was hyped up as possibly the next big thing, and starched him.
Chill.
Basically, it's two bums. Almost. That's why I like.
Yeah.
Elijah. You going there with him? I want to see Elijah on there wrestle.
Hey man, I don't fight. I don't fight, bro.
So
I got normal formal training.
Elijah, would you go in the ring for 50,000?
Easy, 1%, 1,000%.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Dude, $50,000. I mean, I'm good for a year with that kind of money.
Shit, make it 100, and I'll like show some stuff. I'll like make it
right.
fun.
I'm gonna show out. Yeah, I'm making a show.
Yeah.
Playing with me,
I mean, at a certain point in the Woodley Paul fight, I was just like, you know what, Woodley, you can just head kick him, and we'll all consider that a win.
Yeah. Chill. Chill. What were your thoughts on the fight, man?
I mean, it was like I said. I mean, you know what? It makes sense now with what Nick was saying and what y'all was saying just about their fighting styles. It's funny. I don't know. I don't study fighting like that, but I am like super into the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like the art of it or whatever. And we'll get to that later. But as far as the fight, like it makes sense because of the highlights. Like I told you, we seen that right hand. You know what I'm saying? That was the only fucking highlight that they would show. You know, was that right hand. So that shows right there. I mean, it makes sense that even that I just seen like the clips. It shows that it was just two bums. I mean, you had no other draw to pick that out from if nobody got knocked down. If any of them would have got knocked down once and still got up, it still would have had to count as it would have to count.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Nick. Oh, go ahead, Josh.
I was going to say to Chill's point, Nate Diaz said, I mean, he did make a tweet and said both these guys suck. I mean, he did tweet that out as the fight was going on. And Nate Diaz is a also another professional MMA fighter, great in his field of being an MMA fighter. But go ahead, Elijah. Go ahead and ask your question to Nick there.
No, Nick, I was going to ask. So I guess my three kind of questions are based off your observations of the fight. Do you think, what's his name, Robert? I'm sorry, I got his name already. Who's the other fighter?
Tyron Woodley.
Tyron Woodley. I don't got Robert. So Woodley, is it based off his experience or his amount of times fighting him being more defensive and counter attacking, or is he more intimidated by Jake Paul and his success? Was this more like a money grab to extend the pay-per-view fight, or I think what was the last one I'm going to ask? I think those kind of like the main questions I have. I feel like his fighting experience would trump Jake Paul's. Thus, it would warrant him to be more aggressive. You know what I mean?
I think it's a bit of both. I think Woodley kind of overestimated how big his experience would play a factor, and also I think more of it was a little bit of the money grab. And I think Woodley just over time has become a little gun shy. You don't lose like 30 rounds in a like 20 round. You don't lose like 4 or 5 round fights and then get finished in your last one, and then you're the same guy.
Fair.
Yeah. When people say it was rigged, I think like, well, for who and why and what's the purpose?
More than boxing is usually rigged.
I mean, so do you all think in any way it was rigged or could have been rigged? Because I mean, people said that about the last fight that Jake Paul had against Ben Askren. Because a lot of people said like, people said that. So.
I mean, he fought a dude that was coming off of hip surgery and has never been like any kind of technical striker.
All right. So you, as far as credence to the whole it was rigged, you give 0. As far as just any, kind of, think that's actually happened.
I'd say maybe like 15%. Because especially if you listen to interviews with Teddy Atlas, he would go into stories about how back in the day, a certain guy's trainer would take out the guys who are like running the athletic commission the night before the fight. They'd like take them out to dinner. They'd like buy them drinks. and that would like sway judges to like score a little bit more points in this way.
Okay.
I don't know how much of that is going on now, but there is always like that possibility.
It's a sport. It's a sport.
And
I mean,
also just most athletic commission judges are how do I put this kindly? Fucking stupid.
Okay.
And don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah. Chill, what were you gonna say?
so I was just saying, it's all a sport, man. I mean, shit. That's why people go to Vegas to bet on fights. That's why people go to Vegas to bet on sports and other shit. It's a sport. So, I mean, if you want to say it's rigged, if it's rigged or not, motherfuckers still getting paid.
Yeah.
You know?
So, without me watching the fight, I do feel like, and I feel like the word rigged is a little bit too strong of a description for this. I think that because Jake Paul and his brother are internet influencers, I rather use the term the fight was fluffed for entertainment. It was not Hollywood. It was
that I would say because let's be real. The second either of them gets starched, knocked out, head bouncing on the canvas, finished, this entire like YouTube boxer thing, that is done. It's kaput. No athletic commission is ever going to sanction one of those fights ever again.
Yeah. Because this is their cash grab. This is their way to make money and grab people who, like, I'm not a sports person by any means, but if you tell me, like, I'm gonna throw out a random YouTuber. If you tell me PewDiePie or Philip DeFranco or Mr. Beast Burger or Mr. Beast,
throw me like $500K. I'll fucking like knock their shit in. Let's go.
Right, exactly. Right. Any of those dudes, like, you tell me a big YouTuber just gets in the ring, it's like, well, shit, like, you're gonna get like their whole entire, at least half of their subscriber base at least tuning into the fight live. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a celebrity shit. Like, of course you don't got to go that hard. And then,
and also with boxing, unlike with MMA, you can actually like shift the rules around a little bit. You can like say, okay, we'll just go this number of rounds for this many number of minutes apiece, and with this big of gloves. You can't really do that in MMA.
Yeah. Chill, what were you gonna say? Sorry, finish.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, just what he said, and on top of that, I mean, it's just a business. I mean, not a business, but like the celebrity boxers or whatever you want to call them, motherfuckers, like they don't get trained like regular boxers. Like, regular boxers are trained to take hits. Regular boxers have been in expedition fights, over 100 expedition fights once they even get to the fucking TV. So yeah, like on top of what Nick said, like, yeah, all right, cool. We're gonna make padded glove. All right, cool. We can't agree on if we gonna hit that hard or not, but we can agree on, hey, all right, don't knock me out. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or that forfeit your contract, because all that shit got contracts at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's nothing right to a contract and say, hey, Elijah, don't knock me out in the third round, bro, but you can knock me out in the fourth.
Right.
Yeah. So you think they're probably trained to keep pace, to keep endurance going for the prolonged length of the show, right?
Oh, it's called contracts, my bro.
Yeah.
It's called, hey, man.
It's called contracts and like backroom agreements.
Yeah, because I think
okay.
That's what the thing with the whole, like, when it was Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather, a lot of people saying like Floyd probably could have ended that fight a lot earlier, but you gotta extend it out.
He could have finished him any time he wanted. The same way with the Conor McGregor fight, which was much more competitive.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, with this, I mean, Tyron probably got paid more money to do this fight than he has in his entire MMA career to fight.
Which he has. He made more money in this fight than he did in his last 5 in the UFC.
Yeah, because how much did he get paid for this fight?
I think the disclosed purse was $875,000.
Yeah, so that's a really good bag. That's a really, really good bag. Yeah.
That's a really good incentive to fight anybody, honestly.
Yeah,
get paid, bro.
Yeah, and then Jake Paul did take less money for this fight, so it can pay more of the.
I think it was his purse was like a $10 million, and he gave up one of that to like distribute amongst the guys on the undercard.
Yeah, so I mean that was good on him to do that. And then a lot of these things, even though the main event is kind of somewhat people can see as a joke, it does give more kind of the undercard fights are still pretty good. You know what I mean? And gives more kind of eyes on those people, because that's what Floyd did with his thing. Was just it gives with his whole brand and his fighters, gives more of them shine and spotlight. And then when I did watch the Conor fight, because I watched that whole event. Because I went to the theater to go see it, and just to see what it was, and actually a lot of the undercard fights were actually really good, actually, and I was like, I'm having a good time watching.
Yeah, there were a lot of great fighters on that undercard. I think Gervonta Davis was under. Luis Ortiz, who's fought Deontay Wilder twice, he was on the undercard. Some great fights, and if you're smart, as a boxer, you're trying to get on the undercard of one of those shows.
Yeah, and
you gonna fight?
Oh, we say?
I said you gonna fight your ass off too.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. It's an opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably the biggest eyes you're gonna have on you in a while, or maybe in your whole career.
Yeah, so. And you probably know the main event's probably gonna suck, so you don't have to fight that hard in order to get people talking about you.
Yeah.
So Josh, do you think? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. That's fine.
I'm gonna say, since we're all seeing this, inevitably this is gonna be a trend where internet influencers of either YouTube, maybe they might get into Twitch. Who knows?
Shit, there was like a TikTok versus YouTube card a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is, when you guys think they're gonna get the OnlyFans girls to go fight in the ring?
I think it's gonna be OnlyFans versus strippers or something. It's gonna be that.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans versus what? ManyVids?
Yeah.
OnlyFans versus Patreon. That's the only way. Yeah.
Patreon.
Yeah. OnlyFans versus the Playboy bunnies. Like, it's gonna be like that kind of fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they'll probably do some. Yeah, But I mean, things like this aren't new. I mean, they've had celebrity type boxing matches before.
It's not new. I think it's just been the first time it's been gotten this much notoriety in a long time.
It's just sometimes, it's just people this big of nature with this big of fan base and brought this much money and attention to actually things. Because I saw one where it was like, I didn't even know this was happening. It was like Blueface versus like a TikTok guy or YouTube guy. Like, why the fuck is Blueface fighting? He was doing a whole boxing match. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing a boxing match for? But I was like, okay.
It's no different than what we used to watch back in the day with wrestling, and we seen Dennis jumping over fucking,
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Wasn't Trump in a wrestling match at one point?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was in WWE.
Yeah, he's the only president that's a WWE Hall of Famer. The only president.
Shit, in the late '90s, or like the early 2000s, we almost got Wesley Snipes versus Joe Rogan.
Oh, really?
That would have been nice.
Ooh,
yeah.
I want to see Barack Obama play some esports. That's what I want to see.
Play some esports. Yeah. Well, Barack Obama, I mean, he is pretty good with them drone strikes, so maybe he's pretty good at Call of Duty. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's good. So I think he'd be killer at that Call of Duty, boy. He good with them drone strikes, boy.
Like the second he gets that fucking UAV.
Yeah.
Hey, precision airstrike impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spamming that shit.
Yeah.
Precision airstrike.
I see Obama like get in your face, like real close to your face, like about to fight you. That'd be the funniest shit.
Yeah, he's just on the mic, raging on the mic. You know what I mean?
We're going down.
Well,
let me be clear. You're going down.
Michelle, get out the room because you're distracting me. Where's my G Fuel? I need that to perform a lot better.
Oh man.
Something's wrong with my controller. Yes. You're still attached to it.
Let me be clear. You're a scrub. Get off the game. I'm gonna send you back to the lobby.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I mean, what do you think about the possibility of? So just final thoughts on this. What do you think? I'm gonna ask two questions. So what do you think about the possibility of doing a rematch, Tyron Woodley, Jake Paul, and do you think it was a right decision for them to give a win to Jake Paul?
As like, if I look at it objectively, God, I already feel sick saying this, but Jake Paul won. Jake Paul won.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, by every single fight metric out there, Jake Paul won the fight. Except for the fourth round, which should have been a 10-8, and that way it would have been a draw.
Okay. And so, do you think? What about the possibility of? Because Tyron says he wants to run it back. So, what do you think about the possibility of maybe doing a run back?
Ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
And, yeah, nobody care about that shit anyway.
It's not gonna happen. Jake Paul's either, I think, Tommy Fury, the boxer who was on like Love Island in the UK. I think he might end up getting the call next. There's talk about like Jorge Masvidal jumping over.
More MMA guys, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I agree with Nick, honestly. At this point, because with this being a trend and it making more money per high, I guess what high tier athletic fighter they can find, they're gonna keep upping his wins. Like he's gonna win because they need to keep upping this trend. Like it has to escalate over time to gain more money. So I'm sure he's gonna fight a bigger and bigger and bigger. There's a reason why not the Scottish guy, the what's his name?
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, there's a reason why McGregor won't fight one of the brothers right now. Like he's not gonna just fight them out the gate. You're not gonna fight one of the A-list fighters out the gate doing this YouTube influencer thing. You're gonna start small with people who've lost, like Nick said, 30 rounds or who've gotten got knocked out in the last couple of rounds. And they're gonna give it to them because the more dubs the brothers have under their belt, even though it's kind of fluffed up a little bit, it seems more legitimate as their success. The more success you have, the higher tier you're going to go to.
Yeah, but then again, in professional boxing, at this point, who doesn't have kind of a padded record? Like, even with Canelo Alvarez, with like most of his fights up until the first Floyd Mayweather, a lot of them, they don't even have a Wikipedia page. Like, I couldn't find out who these guys are.
Chill, what about you, man? Would you be interested to see second fight between Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley?
No. Yeah. Jake Paul got to fight somebody white. Once you do that, I'll watch.
Let Jake Paul fight. Let Jake Paul fight Anderson Silva and get the shit beat out of him.
Nah,
Don't fight him. Shit.
I don't know. Anderson Silva's kind of
Anderson just got off a pro boxing win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And clowned him.
Wow. Okay. Well,
it wasn't a fight. It was an 8-round ass whooping.
Yeah.
Against a former world champion boxer.
I want to see Jake Paul fight the actor from Iron Fist. That's what I want to see.
Fight. Come on, man. You watched Iron Fist. I'm not trying to watch a public execution.
Exactly. It'd be fun to watch.
All right. So moving on from discussing Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley, we're going to discuss a little bit of news that just broke. Candyman did really well at the box office, so congrats to Candyman. The movie was directed by Nia DaCosta. So there was news that came out that Nia DaCosta becomes first black female director to open a pick number 1 at the domestic box office. And
really,
yeah. And when I heard that news, I was kind of like, I was thinking like, really, she's the first person. I was trying to think of all the people that could have possibly. I was like, Ava DuVernay never did that, and I was trying to think of maybe a movie she did, and I was like, Wrinkle in Time.
Shit, man, ain't nobody see A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, then I remember. Yeah, that movie was garbage. I remember that. I mean, Ava DuVernay is
and it bombed.
Yeah, I mean, she's a great. Yeah, I watched it because I had to watch it for the show one time. I did have to watch it. Yeah, way back. I think the review.
Yeah, Oprah in it, right?
We say?
Yeah, it had Oprah in it, right?
Yeah, it had Oprah. Yeah, big Oprah. You can see her big face and everything. Giant Oprah, giantess Oprah. Yep. Yeah, she was in there. Yeah. You don't want to get stepped on by Oprah or what? You have something against her?
Oh man. Oprah, you seem like you got be not too far from, make sure you got a plate ready and something. If it's big Oprah, I need that midnight snack.
But yeah, so I was trying to think, but yeah, I mean, it's congratulations to her. So this is a report by Deadline here. I'm reading here. So it says here the top 5 openings for the movies at the domestic box office helmed by black women directors are A Wrinkle in Time, which came in at 33.1 million, Candyman at 20.4 million, Little, 15.4 million. Who was directed by Tina Gordon. The Photograph, which I saw that movie. That was a movie with Lakeith Stanfield and Issa Rae in it. That came in at like 12.1 million. You have Queen and Slim, which came in at 11.89 million. The latter, all four being Universal releases. So those were kind of the movies that by Black women directors that have came in the top 5 before in the box office. So Nia DaCosta is the only one that her film Candyman has only come in at number 1 at 20.4 million. This is kind of a great win for her. Congratulations to her. We reviewed Candyman on the show last week, and we enjoyed it quite a bit. I liked it. I gave it a.
Josh did. So did our guests Jenna and Reese. It's not available in Japan yet, so I still haven't been able to watch it.
Fight for that, man. Fight for Candyman, please.
Hey, I'm not trying to like look in the mirror and say his name 5 times in order to get a copy. I'm not doing that.
Chicago said, man, hey, Japan, let them know. Put that out there.
Yeah.
Josh, what is your rating system, by the way?
We just do kind of for right now. It's just 1 to 10. I've been trying to come up with a better rating system, kind of like something that we could have more fun with. But right now, it's just kind of a generic, rated out of a 10. You know what I mean? Right now. So if people can think of something a little bit more fun, a little bit more creative, I'd like to do that with the rating system. But for right now, it's just kind of 1 through 10 right now that we do. So I enjoyed it. People love horror, as somebody mentioned in the chat. Ray Nicole. She said she did love A Wrinkle in Time. She's like one of maybe the 50 people that actually love that movie.
Saw it.
Yeah,
that's pretty high.
And she says, people do love horror. Horror movies are great to come in at the box office and be number 1, especially when there's not much competition. So that's great there. So
even the bigger win is Nia DaCosta. She released a horror movie to a property that hasn't been good since like the 1990s, and did it in a fucking pandemic environment, theaters only, and still managed to get number 1 at the box office.
Yeah,
and it looked good. Like, you got to give it that. Like, people were waiting for this movie,
and critically praised as well. And a lot of that was because of that producer tag from producer Jordan Peele.
Yeah, a lot of people still call it Jordan Peele's Candyman, but but it's Nia DaCosta's Candyman.
Gotta give her credit.
Yeah.
It's Nia DaCosta's Candyman. When the fucking trailer for the Marvels comes out, I better fucking see from the director of Candyman. So, and she's also going to be directing the Marvels movie, which is the sequel to Captain Marvel. So she might get another number 1 box office film with that one when that one comes out. Probably more likely.
I just hope it's good. I hope it's good.
Yeah, I hope so too. Go ahead.
I did not like Marvel. Did not like Captain Marvel.
I didn't see.
I wasn't a fan of Captain Marvel either, but I think a lot of that was because of the writers and directors involved, and you can clearly tell that Marvel wasn't happy with bring him back.
Yeah.
I don't want to go on a tirade about Captain Marvel, but it's her introduction and her continuation in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was just pretty poor. Not only was it very ham-fisted with the social issues that they try to bring up in the movie, the storyline didn't really make sense or flow very well. I am not going to start this debate over the whole Mary Sue thing, but she was kind of somewhat Rey Skywalker-ish to me as a character. Okay. But not only that, man, but they did they did some anime shit with her in Endgame where, like, you're the most powerful person does not show up to the end, and they damn near solved the whole issue. Like, they damn near, like, she was Goku of Endgame, almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it felt like she's almost a one army kind of person. Like, she could just get the dub by herself. There was no glove.
But then again, so did Scarlet Witch in Endgame. She almost got that, and you don't see that same argument about her.
Yeah, but it seems like Scarlet Witch is more vulnerable. It seems like than Captain Marvel is. She
could fight the whole army.
Yeah, I mean,
I say to kind of, I think I think y'all should kind of put that out of the way a little bit, and to kind of just think about the Tony and Thanos fight and how important that was to just the dialogue of things.
Mm.
And think of it, because just think of it that they brought all of those three things in that way. Scarlet Witches and Marvels and everything like that. So I don't think I'm not trying to steer y'all away from it, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
think of it that way. I think the what's their name? What's the brothers that do it? What's their name?
Uh.
The brothers
Oh.
Russo brothers.
Yeah, Russo brothers.
Oh, the Russos.
Yeah.
Russo brothers. Like so the first thing that I think a lot of them get praised for is their choreography, right? And I think
Hmm.
probably be a big thing with the podcast today, fucking karate. But is something about that from Winter Soldier,
Hmm.
from that first fight with Winter Soldier, that first real fight when they was outside. Not when they seen each other, it was just quick. I'm talking about that was just the first real fight when they was outside. That was such like a dramatic fight when they got up close to each other. It was so brutal that they had to know they had to hurt each other because they already knew, like, okay, I know you already stronger than me. You already on what I'm on. You're a killer. I have to stop you. And they made that seem that way in that fight.
Yeah, there was tension and emotional stakes in that fight in the Winter Soldier, and I'll say for Shang Chi when we get to our review for that. But yeah, I don't think they managed to match that with something like Captain Marvel, Black Widow.
Right. Yeah, I think with that, like I said, when they brought in like Miss Marvel, Marvel, Captain Marvel, I think they brought that shit in to be like, this is her importance, that it got to be way more shit going on, which is what we kind of discovering now in this
Okay,
shit.
and I'm excited to see what Nia DaCosta, especially bringing in Monica Rambeau, bringing in Kamala Khan into that movie.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Ray Nicole in the chat, she said, "Yeah, I love Marvel, but I thought Captain Marvel was." She gave 3 yawn emojis there. Yeah. I thought
Even I don't hate Captain Marvel. I'd say it's like on the lower tier of Marvel Studios movies, but even then, even if I'm just watching it by itself, it's an okay movie to have on in the background.
it's very mid.
I enjoy it for the world building. It's very mid, yes.
There are
I say
some
below
there are
mid.
some aspects of Captain Marvel I really love. I love the twist with Ben Mendelsohn's character. And
Was it a twist? Was it a twist?
it's a twist just by the virtue of who you cast character.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, shout out to Nia DaCosta. Great for her. Hopefully you see more kind of a lot more black women directors, because that's kind of crazy. It's 2021, and she's the
more
first.
movie studios taking a chance on black female directors.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, if Jordan Peele's name wasn't attached to Candyman, I don't think that movie gets made.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. But I mean,
I agree.
they do love to take things from the past though and remake them. Chill, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Candyman had fucking 2 sequels
Yeah.
after the first one. That was terrible.
Yeah.
Even Tony Todd talked shit about the Candyman sequels.
Yeah, I've never seen them. I've never ever seen the Candyman sequels.
Do yourself a favor, don't.
Yeah.
Don't. For your sanity, don't.
All right, so moving on from discussing that, Ed Asner, he passed away, Hollywood legend at the age of Asner, sorry about that. My bad. He passed away at the age of 91, and he passed away, very nice, peacefully in his sleep, which is, kind of great thing to imagine, living a long life, passing away in your sleep at 91. And, people know him. He's a 7-time Emmy winning actor. People probably who are around my age probably know him from things like Up. He was the old man in that. He was the old man in the Boondocks. He did a lot of great voiceover work. He was the old rich guy there.
Yeah, voiceover work. He was the voice of Ola J. Jonah Jameson in the 90s Spider-Man. Did the voice, I think, for Commissioner Gordon in Batman. He was Granny Goodness in the Superman animated series.
Yeah.
So that was surprising me.
Yeah. So his... What you say?
He was in Roots, man.
Yep. He was in Gargoyles, Duckman.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a long career. And then a lot of older people probably know him from like Mary Tyler Moore. I have a picture here from the People's article right here that talks about his passing, where it has a picture of him from the Mary Tyler Moore show, and then his ass looked old as hell here too. Damn, this man never been young. Holy crap.
Josh, how long was his career? When did he stop? At what age? I feel like, I mean, Up was a decade ago.
He was still working up until like this year. He was did a short for Up called Doug Days. He did something called Captain Daddy. He was a voice on Central Park. He's appeared in Cobra Kai.
Yeah. So he was still working. Yeah, like kind of like Betty White. I mean, Betty White still shows up, appears in stuff. Does voice work. Yeah. So
yeah, and I think he's done a lot of small stuff he can like show up to set for a couple hours, get his check and go home. Stuff he can just pull up to the recording booth. Bubbles has got to take off. All right. Bye,
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Chat. Say goodbye to Bubbles there, and we got some good emotes of Bubbles as well that you can show off. Yeah. So if you wanna...
Bubbles and her mom are going on a little girls' day.
Yeah, get a nice little pedicure, manicure, relax, chill out, grab some coffee.
Might go watch Candyman.
Watch Candyman, So yeah, I mean, he's had a long career. A lot of people probably have heard his voice and don't even know it. So yeah, I mean, good for him.
I didn't know it.
Yeah. Like Superman, Granny Goodness. Yeah, I remember Granny Goodness. That was a great role for him in Superman the Animated Series. Nick, he just Nick just showed the emote, nice little Bubbles emote that people can use. Very cute little emote made by Jenny Liano. Jenny Liano made those like emotes for us, which is pretty nice. And if you guys need some emotes made, contact me. I'll get a hold of Jenny, get you in contact with her, and give her some good work to do working for the emotes. So yeah, she's very good. Do you have any...
Jenny is one of those toasties who works, man. Like I've never formally had a conversation with her, but like she's one of the top people who I see all the time, and at least on Facebook, who's always working. Her and I have and I know Dominic. I'm actually pretty good friends with Dominic all the time because Dominic's made some art for me and for the podcast more than once.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, Dominic, I think I'm sub to his Patreon. Dominic is a very great artist. He made that artwork on your shirt right there for DT Chicago. Yep, very much. He's a very, very great artist. Love his artwork a lot. Very beautiful artist. Dominic, Jenny, a lot of really talented people, smart people, funny people. In the community. In the community we're talking about is called Double Toasted. Their podcast as well. And they have a nice community of people like from where Elijah's from, where I'm from, where Chill is from, where Nick is from. So that's how we kind of all met each other, knew each other there from that community.
Yep. And that's how me and Josh got in touch a year ago and got to talking about DC, and the rest is history.
Yeah. I made a post.
Wait, y'all started off DC conversation?
That's how I initially came on the show. Josh had me on to talk about like DC fandom, like the original Batman trailer, the fucking all of those spots, and invited me on a week later, and now I'm a regular.
Yeah. That's how it happened because it was me and it was Chase, and then we were doing something about the, like I said, DC fandom, and I put out a post on the group, and then I said, well, who knows a lot about the kind of DC stuff, and he raised his hand, so I said, hey, come on the show. Liked him a lot, and then kind of had him back on, and then he's been a host with me ever since. So Elijah,
man, that's the cool thing about the platform, man. Because honestly, Chill, I've known Chill for a couple years, man, and I think Josh, how long have I known you on Facebook? Probably about 2-3 years. About 2-3 years.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, possibly. Our Facebook anniversary might be coming up. You gotta give me something special. Our Facebook anniversary might be coming up.
I got you, man.
Yeah, give me
because one thing that's cool about the community is that
you just gotta break into Josh's apartment, leave some rose petals onto his bed.
Yeah, I like to be.
Go sleep.
Like some whining and dining.
I'll leave you a crown bottle. How about that? I guess
don't break.
I guess the last person I got to shout out is Mark Garnes. Mark Garnes is the guy from Canada. He did my YouTube channel's intro and outro from the some photos that we taken, man. He's another guy who is super super cool in the DT community. So I just
Yeah.
feel like I got to share some love with some people. You know what I mean? Speaking of Jenny.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and Anthony Wilson, he made our intro as well. I've been using this intro for a while, like the intro that people saw with the stream. Anthony Wilson made that. He continues to make a lot of stuff for them. I go to him with a lot of stuff, like making our title cards, banners for our social media pages, things like that. So he's also really another great guy. Great, makes great work. So Elijah, Chill, what are your thoughts about Ed Asner, his career, his impact on you?
I guess. Chill, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I go first. Man, I mean, like I said, just looking through like just his catalog and then y'all just talking about it and everything. It's amazing. I mean, for me, off top, it's amazing. But like, so I'm not. So a lot of these movies I haven't seen. A lot of these Christmas movies I haven't seen. I don't really watch these type of Christmas movies. He did some movie with Kevin Hart called Let Go and shit like that. But the fact of the matter that like it was voiceover, his voice acting and shit like that. So, for somebody to to land so many roles, it lets you know right there that like your voice, that shit was talented. So, like, praise to him just for his voice, man. Like that's a gift. Your voice is a gift, and like shit, I always look to shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I know, like I said, going back, I always like to go to this because people give what's his name, Tony Todd,
Mm.
or whatever his name is, that voice Black Panther right now. They give him a lot of that Kratos, give him a lot of that Kratos credit, but fucking bro from fucking Living Single was the first Kratos voice,
Yeah.
and they'll never give him credit,
Oh, you're talking about
So it's
the
like,
the guy who voices Kratos now is the guy from Stargate. He's from Stargate.
Yeah, Christopher Judge, who does the voice.
Yeah.
Christopher Judge. Oh yeah. Chris, I call him Tony Todd because fucking Candyman. But yeah, the original. I think the original. The original Kratos was Kyle Last from Living Single. And
Yeah.
Nick, have you ever seen Living?
Shit, I don't think I ever have.
You got Hulu?
Yeah.
You got Hulu? Come to my
Yeah, I got
Discord.
Hulu.
You watch Living Single. You come to my Discord.
Yeah.
We
Living
watch
Single's
about 3
great.
episodes.
Let's do it.
Living Single's a great show, man. And like people give Martin his credit, but Living Single is a gem. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. That's all I got to say.
Okay. By the way, I have the picture of Ed when he was in Roots right here. I got that picture. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't look young here either. And the picture I have is.
I mean, he didn't start acting until he was like in his late 40s.
Really?
But you have so it's the picture I have pulled up is LeVar Burton in chains, and then you have Ed behind him just looking menacing. Yeah, you definitely tell he did some shit in Roots that was yeah. I mean that was not for kids right there. I mean holy shit. But
That's
yeah,
not safe for work.
yeah.
What sucks for me, I guess, is that Ed Asner, like I'm probably the baby out of everybody. I feel like I'm the youngest, and so for me, I didn't really have a chance to really admire most of his work because I feel like it was a lot of it was when I was like maybe like 5 or 6 years old that he was really popular in most of the cartoons and things like that. But if you play, I mean, I didn't really watch the '90s Spider-Man, but I remember him playing his small role in Boondocks. I didn't watch Superman either, but I mean, it's one of those voices. If you were to hear it, you'd recognize it because it's so unique. You feel kind of bad because you can tell that he had one of those golden, very versatile acting voices that could be put into almost anything, and you don't really miss it. Unfortunately, you don't really miss it until they're gone, and so it can be a bit nostalgic just for me knowing Boondocks and what were the other cartoons he was in?
Superman the animated series, Spider-Man
Gargoyles, Superman the animated,
yeah,
Spider-Man
so
the animated
those,
series.
like, if you were to play those back, you'd be like, oh, I recognize that voice because it hits me, through nostalgia. And to know that it's gone, it's like, man, like he could have done so much more because with good material, he was from the episodes that I've seen when I was a kid, and I've still seen, I've rewatched as an adult. They're very memorable, and he has really good, very good comedic timing in Boondocks. So I was like, wow, that sucks. That guy's not around anymore. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and he just had a good classic old man voice, that you do a parody of when you talk like an old man, like very crotchety, So it's like that.
Every time you do the old man voice, you end up doing a little Ed Asner.
Yeah, you know what I mean. He had that very distinctive kind of old man voice like that. That was very much recognizable that people remember. So,
What did he say? Did you just offer me cheese? Or
oh yeah,
whatever that line was from Boondocks.
oh yeah, I love cheese. Yeah.
I love cheese.
I
Yeah.
love cheese.
So in the chat, Ray Nicole says Cicely Tyson didn't start acting until her 30s. She's another legendary actress that recently passed away. Did she pass away this year or last year? Cicely Tyson, I think it was last year. I want to say, or this year.
What was her biggest roles?
Cicely Tyson. Well, her last role was in Tyler Perry's. What was that movie called? The one with Billy Brooks in it. Makai Brooks.
Oh
God!
Fucking
Straight bitch.
Fall from Grace.
A Fall from Grace. That was her last role. Yeah, Cicely Tyson. Yeah.
I just watched that the other day. Oh my God! Because she was old in the movie. Like she was old, period. But like, still, like she's been around for a very, very long time, and she's been. I think she was one of Tyler Perry's top actors in most of. Because she was always a wise old woman. In most of his movies. I didn't realize she died.
Yeah, she passed away. Somebody said in the chat this year. So Ray Nicole said, she passed away in January. Yeah, she passed away. Yeah, in January. Yeah, she lived a very long life too. Yeah.
Why did you watch that movie, Eli? Why?
Because it was funny.
I watched it today.
Because it's one of the best comedies of the last 2 years.
Yeah. Hey, thank you very much, Early Morning Lover.
Oh.
He just cheered our first bits ever on the channel. So yeah, that's awesome. So yeah,
Nice.
thank you for the
Early
16
Morning
bits.
Lover.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Another great streamer I ran into. He's really great. Love his whole setup. He streams games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So very, very great streamer himself. So I feel like, damn, I kind of want to frame it. You know how like when businesses get their first dollar and they kind of put it in the nice little frame case. You know what I mean? I kind of want to do that. Maybe take a screenshot of it.
Just just take a screenshot, print it out, like put.
Yeah, print it up, put it behind me. You know what I mean? Like my first. Yeah. Thank you. And he also gifted a sub. Thank you, man.
And gifting a sub.
Thank you.
He's an MVP. Yeah, he's a go for that one.
Yeah, thank you, man. I show love in his streams all the time. I recommend you guys check him out, show him some love as well. Follow him if you can. He's very good as well. Another streamer I follow, Philippe, is also in here. He streams Zelda as well. Plays a lot of Zelda. So I've been in his streams there watching him play Zelda. Got a good setup too, watching him play Zelda. I need to play more Zelda. I told him that. I have Breath of the Wild on the Switch, but I haven't played it. I'm lazy. I mean, it's such a big game.
I do not like the Switch just because it is a handheld console. I wish Nintendo maintained competition like they were with the 64 and the GameCube when the 360 and the PS4, Xbox One generations came out. I still think Nintendo has a lot of potential. I understand that they were dominating when motion control first came out, but I feel like if they would have kept going by making these games, because I understand like the two big boys or the three, I guess now, if you have money, is PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and they kind of dominated the motion control and the family market for gaming. But it's like, for me, I don't like the setup of the Switch, where it's handheld, or you can put it in 720 HD on a TV if you mount it. I'm like, dude, if they made a pro, like the rumors say, the Pro Switch for consoles, I would love to play Breath of the Wild. The playthroughs I've seen for Zelda, dude, that makes me want to get a Switch. But just because it's one game, I don't want to really invest the money into it.
Well, there is the Steam Deck that's coming out that's supposed to be, people are calling it the Switch killer. So that's going to come out in December, and a lot of you can play pretty much all these Steam games that are from the library of Steam, plus a lot of console games. So it looks like an extremely powerful console as well, a handheld console. Maybe it's way more powerful than the Switch. So a lot of people are saying like this could be the thing that finally is great competition for the Switch. But yeah, go ahead, Chip.
I was just saying I don't know nothing about y'all talking about, man. I ain't played Zelda since the GOAT.
Yeah,
When
my
the
girl,
GOAT comes on.
she bought a Switch and hasn't touched it for like 6 months.
Oh, you got to play.
Why?
You, I mean, you can play. You can invite some people over, play some Mario Kart, play some Smash. Smash is always a great game to play with people. That Mario Kart.
Wait, you can use one Switch and play with folks like a party?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the controllers are like, that's why I hate it. You can take them
Wait,
apart and disassemble them, and they're very small.
Or
I'm
you can.
old, man. You got to
You
tell
can.
me. You see, I still play Marvel.
Yeah,
um,
I got big hands. I need like a full controller.
you can buy a
Yeah,
controller. You can
Otherwise, I'm
also,
gonna break that shit.
you can also buy like another, like people buy GameCube controllers to hook up to it, like USB or wireless controllers that you can also. Yeah, so you can have, people come over, play some Mario Kart, play some Smash. Yeah, and things like that. Those are fun party games. Always have fun. Yeah.
dude. Anytime, yeah. I mean, really, if anybody brought out the N64, bro, let's run it up. And Mortal Kombat 4, original Smash Brothers, Mario
GoldenEye.
Kart, GoldenEye. Yup, there you go.
Yeah, good on. Yeah, so yeah, always good
That
answer.
just looks like such a good time, don't it?
Oh me, dude, I'm just a nerd. Bring me on when y'all talking about anime, nerd, Marvel, Star Wars shit, or like video games, dude. Like I'm all over that.
Okay.
If I was a girl that like don't do for a living, I would definitely hang out with Eli.
Oh,
But hey, we can have on you Elijah again, because I think I want to do a series retrospective of Cowboy Bebop, since the live action show is going to come out. So I kind of maybe want to go back, because I haven't seen Cowboy Bebop in years. So I kind of want to go back, rewatch that, and review the movies of that, since the live action version is coming out, and on Netflix. There's going to be a TV series. Yeah,
fun facts.
Wait,
That
is
is my.
it a rework? You know, that's my type of stuff, youngster. I like that stuff. I like Cowboy Bebop.
I think
Okay,
it's like
okay,
a
okay.
reimagining or a remake.
yeah.
All right,
Ah,
all right. I'm about to get some shit in the comments. That is my Achilles heel of my anime career. I have never finished Cowboy Bebop. I've tried. It's very slow to me. It's
Slow.
Shit, here
dry to
comes the
me.
hate raid.
That's
Oh no,
like
here comes the hate raid.
dude. Listen,
Slow.
man. Dude, listen. Bleach and Cowboy Bebop are the two animes that people praise to death, and I'm like, I can't sit
Well,
down and watch it. It took me years to finish Hunter x Hunter, but I love it now. You know what I mean?
but I mean, Bleach is different. I mean, Bleach is like 8,000 episodes. Cowboy Bebop is only one season and then a couple of movies. Like that's it.
Right.
It says too slow. What? Come on.
It's very, very okay. Very slow build for me. So like, I wasn't because what's okay. Here's the one main episode that I remember from Cowboy Bebop. Who's the guy, the main guy with the red chip and the blue hair?
Spike Spiegel.
Spike.
Spike?
So what's the episode where Spike is fighting some serial killer and they're like a Ferris wheel and it's like the winter time?
Oh, I remember that episode. I vaguely remember that episode. Yeah.
That is the only episode that I've seen as a kid and as an adult that like I remember most of it. And I'm like, okay, if every episode is like this, I'm loving the anime. Like I want to really, really get into it. But then there's a lot of scenes I remember growing up watching Adult Swim and Toonami where it's just them, like the strange girl with a dog floating in space, and there's just a whole bunch of talking. Like to
Yeah.
me as a kid, that was just got boring. So for me, I don't have nostalgia for it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, hey, when I tell you, when we do like a retrospective of it, you can rewatch it, with us, and then check it out, and then come on and get your thoughts on there, everything like that. And chill. Maybe you'll be a part of it too, man. You know what I mean? Relive them days, bro. Yeah.
I'm down. I used to watch Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Don't get me started.
Yeah. I used to watch some Hanna-Barbera stuff like that. They used to show those on Boomerang, everything like that.
Yeah, I fucked with Boomerang a lot.
Yeah. And speaking of Adult Swim, actually, Elijah, yesterday was Adult Swim's 20th anniversary. Yesterday that they
You're kidding.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
They've been around for 20 years. 2000.
Fuck, I'm old.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fuck, I'm old.
Wait a minute.
Dude,
Wait a minute.
I'm old too.
Wait a minute. So, because
Anyone's
Right.
knee just start hurting out of nowhere? Fuck.
yeah, so like this, is what I'm trying to get straight real quick. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I remember when like before Cartoon Network even came, it was on like some weird channel that would show like multiple things, right? and it would just show like previews of their shows, and then Cartoon Network kind of became a channel. Are we counting that, or are we counting Adult Swim just Adult Swim?
I think it was just
What was the
adult.
name of it?
I mean, Adult Swim was just like the late night block of network, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but it came after.
yeah. I think they would just count like Adult Swim when like Adult Swim became a thing, not like Cartoon Network and then what before it. It was just kind of like Adult Swim.
Yeah, I think it was like there was Toonami, and like after like 10 p.m. that's when Adult Swim came on, and they eventually split it off into its own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I think Toonami was the block between 7
That
or
was
8
like
p.m.
that was like
11.
the action shows. That was like here's Samurai Jack, Star Wars: The Clone Wars,
Dragon Ball,
Teen Titans, Dragon
A
Ball.
lot of that for me, for what I remember, came after. That's what I'm saying. Like when it first came out, I remember Cartoon Network was on this channel. It was on some weird channel that was like the video boxes where you see the listeners and shit. It was like on the channel like that, right?
Yeah, it was like CN1, CN2, or like those kinds of channel blocks.
Yeah,
it was on that channel, and it would have like interludes where it would play this one song. I remember it. It would go da 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 da, and it was like elevator music. And I remember because Cartoon Network, before they started launching, I always think somebody at my door, nobody's here. Cartoon Network, before they started launching, they were playing anime. They were playing anime shit. So like
I think
like,
Adult Swim, there was like a 2-hour block where it was reruns of like Family Guy, Futurama, American Dad, and after those, that's when it became the anime block.
Yeah.
This is before that though. This is before that. This is before Adult Swim. This is before Toonami. It was just Cartoon Network, and they would split it up. They would still play like Ed, Ed, and Eddie. This was like it was Super Pilot. It was Super Pilot. So they would still play Ed, Ed, and Eddie. They would split it up, and at the end, like at the end of the night, they would play more anime shit. Because I remember watching anime about this kid and his family, and it was Hiroshima, and that him and the kid had to like survive. Him and his mother and shit. It was very fucked up. But yeah.
Okay.
What's the year on that? Chill. What if you were to think back? What year?
I just remember always watching it because I was watching it over and over, and I can remember the song. So I remember before Cartoon Network came out. That's why I'm trying to understand when I was seeing this going on. I was like, wait, can we celebrate Cartoon Network or we celebrate Adult Swim? Because Adult Swim to me came after Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I guess nobody. I guess nobody was fucking with Cartoon Network like that. I think they only just cared about Adult Swim. Maybe they were like, okay, well, we don't care. They just like Adult Swim, and then that's it. But yeah, I mean, I know Toonami.
Sorry for Randy.
Oh no, it's no problem. Yeah, I mean,
good, bro.
yeah, taking me back. Yeah, see, kids today, you don't know about Toonami what it was before. You know, you kids, I don't know what bullshit you watching now, but you know, you watching 80 reruns of Family Guy. You know, before we used to have some good shit. We used to have Dragon Ball on there. We used to have Death Note on there. We used to have good. What else was it? Foolie Cooley was on there. Cowboy Bebop was on there. We used to have all that good stuff on there, man. You know, you kids.
I remember all that. Yeah. It's about Toonami or Adult Swim. I can name them. I can name most of them.
Yeah, both. You know, both, man.
It was like, dude, like it was like Zatch Bell. It was Mare. It was I almost said Ranchers, Monster Ranchers, not Monster Ranchers. It was man, there's a lot of stuff on there. Pokemon at one point was on there. I remember that. They might have played Pokemon on Toonami at some point. A lot of reruns of Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop, Sailor Moon, Bleach. Who's the guy with the red hair and the backward sword that doesn't cut people? He used to be a murderer.
Oh, Kenshin. Yep, Kenshin. Yep, Kenshin.
All that stuff, man. I remember a lot of that stuff growing up as a kid.
Yeah. See, Sailor Moon was another one. Sailor Moon was on Channel 8 before it came to Cartoon Network. I'm telling you, Tuxedo Master. I was watching Sailor Moon when it was just Sailor Moon, and she had to find the other moons.
Oh man, yeah, but I'm sorry, that just went off the rails, people. There, but yeah, just having some fun here. You're discussing a lot of kind of old stuff like that. So yeah, we just went into a big tangent there, but that's okay. Yeah, love it. So moving on from discussing great passing of Ed Asner, we're gonna be going into Shang Chi. I'm sorry about that. Almost mispronounced it.
Shang Chi.
Yeah.
Shang Chi.
And I'm gonna let Nick take it.
Oh,
because this has been one of his most anticipated movies of the year, and you know, this is
Yeah,
kind of
I think when we did our most anticipated, my number 5 or 4.
yeah. So I'm gonna let you take it, man. Let's introduce the movie to us, man.
So, Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, is the newest film from studios. Cretan, whose previous works include Short Term 12 and Just Mercy. Really wonderful director, and given the reins to Marvel's first Asian-led superhero film, starring Simu Liu of Kim's Convenience fame. He's a former stunt performer that has gotten a lot of work on television. I think his biggest break was Kim's Convenience, which is a hilarious show on Netflix. And this stars Simu as Shang Chi, the son of the great dictator Wen Wu, who is the holder of the Ten Rings, who is a thing that we've heard about from back in Iron Man 1. We've only heard about this like terrorist organization and never really seen it until like Iron Man 3, where we got Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin, which they address in the movie. If you're concerned, they address that, and I think one of the best ways. It's like fucking white people.
Yeah. Oh man.
But one of the biggest things about this movie is this is the action, because this is Shang-Chi, it's the greatest martial artist in the MCU. This is coordinated by the late Brad Allen, who is who is the first Western person who was in the Jackie Chan fight team.
Oh, nice.
Which is where a lot of the fight sequences get there. And for me, this is probably some of the best action that has been in a Marvel movie. Everything is clear. It's shot from far enough away. Unlike something like Mortal Kombat, Snake Eyes, you can see everything going on, and you can tell there's so much like love and care built into establishing these fight sequences.
Yeah. Very much so. Because that was kind of one of the things that impressed me watching it the first half. Because you know, watching, I'm like, wow, this is a really good martial arts movie during the first half. Because I was kind of worried when they said they were doing it, as we've seen what they've done in past things like Iron Fist with the martial arts stuff, how they kind of really dropped the ball.
Simu Liu actually spent more than 5 minutes in the dojo.
Yeah. So this is, you know, I mean, yeah, it's very, very impressive. Like you see the scene in the trailer, the bus scene. You see it in pretty much all the trailers. That's kind of the one big.
The bus scene, it goes on way longer in the trailer, and it's probably one of the best action sequences in a Western production. I will give it that caveat I've ever seen.
Now, Nick, let me know if you agree with me or not. I feel like the trailer did not sell the movie. I feel like the trailer did not really, because it was cooler in the scenes than what the trailer made it seem like. Because Marvel, again, the word formula is going to pop up a lot in this conversation, because I feel like they have gotten very cookie cutter with their trailers. Marvel knows their very standard way to look.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you that Marvel, as far as the trailers go, a lot of them are very cookie cutter, but they've sold a movie with a talking tree and a talking raccoon. They can pretty much just throw the logo Marvel Studios, and it's going to get butts and seats.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and like, yeah, exactly. Because people say that, and I understand exactly what that is, because when like Guardians came,
honestly, I was more excited about this watching a lot of the like little EPK trailers where you have interviews with the cast and talking about the cultural aspects behind this movie. I was more excited watching those than I was either of the trailers, and I still like both trailers.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the how it's shot is definitely, I think that's the biggest difference in a lot of the other Marvel movies. Like it feels fast paced without having to try to be fast paced, and I think I like that. Like I like that. Like let it be fast paced. Like let's get to the shit. Let's get to the shit. And I'm not saying they were getting to the shit super early, but as far as like just like you say, the bus scene. I mean, that scene. Him and his
first
father.
15 minutes.
Him and his father, to be honest. And of course, we're going to go back into the conversation of fight scenes again, but him and his father. And I think that it was just, I think
a lot of I wouldn't say it was much more of like emotion. I think they tried to like sell for that a little bit, but
Yeah,
it was just more so like you can see the skill in both of them.
Yeah.
You know, you
yeah, and I think the strength of it is, um, in some of the later fight scenes between Shang Chi and Tony Leung, who is probably one of the greatest actors to come out of Hong Kong ever.
Mhm.
There's so much emotion in a fight scene, and that's what separates some of these versus anything that's been in some of the other Western martial arts movies that have come out this year. Stuff that's what separates it from stuff like Mortal Kombat or from Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
It's emotion in the context of the scene.
Yeah.
Right.
And he really impressed me in the movie, Tony Leon. He really, really did. It's because it's almost like his movie along with Shang Chi's movie.
Yes, the first act of this movie, it's almost a story of Wenwu.
Yeah,
It's basically his origin story.
yeah, and him meeting his mother, Shang Chi's mother, would be his wife, and how they kind of fell in love through martial arts and through
Yeah,
combat.
and in an amazing fight scene that I think I'm trying to remember the critic that said this, but the beats between a fight scene and a love scene, when it's done well, the lines between the two are very blurry.
Yeah,
because he knew he had no game. That's how he speaks. He got the huh? They doing too much dancing. They making me hot. That's what I thought.
I mean,
So
I remember seeing this with fight, and she like leans over and whispers to me while that fight scene's going on. And it's like they gonna fuck. It's like.
So Nick, let me ask you this, man, because like I'm very at this. I just saw it last night on IMAX, and I'm very passionate about the movie because I'm ready to deep dive and not nitpick everything, but I'm ready to like get right into the movie. So I want to know like structure wise for the podcast, where do you want to start first? You want to start from scene, like plot to plot to plot, or you're gonna go from character to character and then move on to fight scenes and move on to what like how you want to go about going through this?
I think with us, we like talk about what we liked, what we disliked, and give our rating before we like dive deep into spoilers. Because the movie just came out wide release today, your time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
get anybody who hasn't had a chance to see it or who doesn't give a shit about spoilers a chance to like mute the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me be as vague as I can with like my I guess kind of feeling about the movie. I do feel like for Marvel for the last decade they have been doing their or since phase two, phase 3, now in phase 4, they have been doing their standard movie like a standard meal dish with a different flavor. Now this is the Kung Fu movie flavor. The first time we actually had like it's not standard Marvel fighting. It's not super dramatic choreographed in the way that that Black Widow was, or that Loki is, or anything like that. It's not Russo brothers.
It's not the Russo brothers. It's not the Russo brothers calling Chad Stahelski second.
Exactly, but like you said, it's very Jackie Chan like. It's not exactly furniture foo, but it's definitely like hardcore, a lot of movement. You know what I mean? Fights like that. So
it's a lot more kinetic than you see in standard Marvel films.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's not, and it's not stylized to the point where it's exaggerated, like the posing and things like that. Now it's martial arts to the T, like you said, Western martial arts. But so that's what I really dug about it. I think the bus scene definitely stand out, got you in the movie. That's when you know the movie is really getting going. Like it was great, even though the villain with the blade, sword for arm, that was straight up,
Razor Fist. That was straight up.
Standard Marvel villain.
Mm-hmm.
Technology trying to fight me. This and that. His friend Aquafina did bother me. She pull it back not 2 notches, a notch. I do understand where people like her inflections and voice and personality can kind of throw it off a little bit. I understand that she's more of a Western Asian American with her own kind of humor to it. I'd say 60% of her jokes stuck for me because a lot of it was out of place. Because I know
Yeah,
towards it wasn't until
that's
the later
yeah,
half of the movie
that
it was okay.
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of I think that's kind of like the point of that character because a big thing that they don't tell you in the trailer is, like, most of the dialogue between Asian characters is spoken in Mandarin,
Right.
Mhm.
which I was pleasantly surprised to see
That's
because
right.
you almost never get a primarily Asian cast in a Hollywood movie and you let them speak their native language. So I was
Mhm.
pleasantly surprised by that, and they make a big point of showing that Aquafina's character. They make a point that she doesn't speak the language,
Yeah.
and that's just and if you're growing up Asian American, that's just like another thing that is that makes you feel like an outsider.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, Elijah, you bring up a good point, bringing up Aquafina, because somebody mentioned in the chat, what do we think about the whole
Yeah.
Aquafina?
Somebody mentioned the controversy and the potential fan boycott.
Uh,
Honestly, I think since something like the farewell, I think she's more or less dropped the whole like black scent thing
yeah.
because even in interviews now, she's almost never really used it.
Yeah. Um, and so the whole thing with Aquafina, because people don't know, so because this movie, I mean, because people have talked about Aquafina's black scent before and that kind of whole controversy. I mean, it's been it's came up before, so I don't know why people are saying like it's just coming up because of this movie and people want it to fail. I mean, people have mentioned it way before, plenty of times. But Aquafina just in this movie, which we did talk about the controversy and everything like that on the past show last week. We did mention that, and we went into depth about talking about that. But with Aquafina in this movie, first of all, I did like her. I thought she did a good job. I do like her and
I think the chemistry between her and Simu Liu, I love that you never see a friendship like this just strictly be platonic.
yeah,
Like even with the past Marvel movies, there's always been like this forced romance. I'd say, like even in something like Doctor Strange, which we'll get to when we talk about What If. I thought that was a little shoehorned in, and I like that it's never more than what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Chill, yeah, chill. Let me get you in
Yeah.
on there.
So, yeah, I was letting y'all go. I love it, man. I
Mm.
wanted to let y'all go to just because I'm finna come from a way different perspective
Mm.
from the Fina thing. Um, so I'm a person that only seen what was that movie you said Farewell, right?
Yep.
With
Yeah, the
the
farewell.
Yeah.
I seen that right. I
Mm.
seen that movie. I ain't know none of the Aquafina movies, right?
Mm.
And watching what's the name? I don't think she was even using that voice at all, bro. I think and I didn't even like even catch it. Like I don't know, man. I can kind of tell like when motherfucker kind of forcing it,
Mm.
and you just can't like. I feel like some Asians. I don't want to say it like that, but I feel like a lot of Asians like they can't help their voice. Like look at bro from fucking Romeo Must Die. That motherfucker. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
fucking Dante Basco.
Yeah, like
Yeah, Dante Basco, who is who a lot of you know as the voice of Zuko on
exactly.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
So why don't they get him for what they call white casting or whatever? He trying to do a white voice. Like I think she just whatever she do, she probably smoke heavy weed, smoke squares or something. Her voice just like that. She sounds like a not only just a Western Asian chick, but they sound like an Asian person that's in the west of San Francisco, the Bay Area, shit like that. Like that's
That's
just how
fair.
they are. Like that's
Yeah,
just
it never felt forced. It felt natural.
Yeah.
exactly. So we gotta put. I'm
It,
putting
it felt it felt natural, and that's the biggest thing. It reminded me a lot of I remember this movie Blind Spotting and talking about Rafael Casal's character because he is very much that dude who grew up in the hood and kind of has like hints of a black scent, but it's natural for that character.
Yes,
Hmm.
and that's why I'm saying like I'm putting respect to the area because San Francisco that's a big
Yeah.
area,
With that context, I'm a little bit more lenient on her thinking back to it now.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just feel like out of me, I didn't hear any fucking yos or just forceful stuff. Like I don't know, you can catch forceful stuff, and I didn't think none of that. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to speak on that. I didn't think none of that.
Yeah. I mean, there
I will
was.
say that I felt like a little bit like sometimes awkward scenes with her because the camera would solely zoom in on her for a reaction. Like she was a reactionary character. I guess she was our avatar as an audience member,
Yeah.
but I felt like she was a little bit pushing the borderline of too much, and not
Blame that
saying
on Marvel.
cartoony, but
Blame
because
that on
if you think about it, like how many Marvel heroes had their like there's a straight person who's our main character, and there's the jokey person. So like for example, in Ant-Man, you had the Hispanic guy, right?
Yeah, Michael
Or
Pena. Yeah.
exactly, and Michael Pena, I felt like those two characters are very similar. Same thing with Ned from Spider-Man. Like and of course, they're not really representing their nationality, their ethnicity so much in the show. But Michael Pena, for example, his jokes, his reactions, and how he kind of dealt with the supernatural magic superhero stuff in his own movies felt better to me than what Aquafina did. So that's why I wasn't like, I'm not enjoying her on screen anytime she popped up outside of the later half where when she did it, like when you're around like the magical dimension and all this crazy fighting is going on, like her reactions are legitimate because like she's afraid for her life in this battle. At the same time though, her personality is humorous. At the beginning half, when eventually we get to, big fight arena in the first third of the movie, a lot of, a little bit too much with the drinking and the partying and the traveling and the way that she became friends with his sister. I was kind of like, that just happened on a snap, like on a dime. Like, oh, I like your pants. I'm like,
world, bro. But can I combat that real quick?
This is also a world where people are kind of in the know because they mentioned stuff like the blip very early on in the movie.
And then to say this, what you said, Elijah, too, real quick. Yeah, the beginning she was partying and shit like that. This shit was kind of new. Yeah, towards the end, I think that she really wanted to save her friend. They were so into each other as friends. They knew that at the end of the day, they only had each other.
Yeah. I think there's a theme in this movie about living up to like a lot of people would say family expectations, but I would say more like living up to your potential because they establish early in the movie that they're kind of slackers, which is a very common thing with people I know in the Asian community. It is like you all know that stereotype about Asian parents is like, why are you not doctor yet?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's something that's very, obviously, relatable, obviously, for a lot of people who are still living at home with their parents and are in their 20s and trying to figure out life, having a quarter life crisis. It's like, what the hell am I going to do? And you know what I mean? What's my future going to be like and everything like that? And people my age are hugely successful. But, I mean, them in the movie, they're not very depressed about their situation, even though they're valets. I mean, they're very happy.
They're just cool with life.
Yeah,
his is more trauma that he chooses to put to the side.
His is trauma that he's running away from her. It's fear of failure. Fear of success a little bit.
Yeah, and for me as a 20-something, I'm like, okay, that's like the best plot character development you could have gave her. Like at that point, I'm like, this is the main thing I care about this character. Like I relate to that on a hardcore level. From like, okay, if there's any golden nugget to her. That's it for me right there.
Yeah.
The big thing, the big word of the movie too, low key, is motivation. A lot of things motivated her. She seeing them in trouble, seeing Shang in trouble and shit, that motivated her to at least try.
Yeah.
Try, girl. And that's her problem. She never tried.
Right.
Josh, let me ask you about like a couple more characters, right? How do you feel about Shang-Chi's sister, and how do you feel about his dad? I guess sister first, and we'll get into the dad next.
Okay, so the sister in this movie, Nick, who's the sister played by again? If you can.
Oh, the sister. The sister is a character played by Menger Zhang. I think is how you pronounce her name. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments.
So her, I thought. It's funny you bring up Ant-Man. I don't know if it's because she had the same hairstyle or what.
There were a lot of hints of like Hope Van Dyne in that movie.
Yeah, she very reminded me much a lot like Hope Van Dyne. Very a person very stern, very serious, kind of as much much what she had going on, and she was angry at her brother. So there wasn't.
Yeah, but but with her, I felt it was angry for a legitimate.
Yes.
Abandonment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For she has got some abandonment issues. I mean, rightfully so. But that's kind of vibe I was gonna get it off. I think she, in more movies, she's gonna explore. They're gonna do more with her, hopefully, and I think she's a good character to explore more later on and become more fleshed out. As of this movie right here, I felt she's this kind of typical, kind of very stern, serious, kind of badass type woman. But I think more as more movies go on, and I do like her relationship with Aquafina in the movie, how they kind of both open up to each other, and she had the whole thing going for her. It's like, well, I was a woman in a very male dominated field because of martial arts, and the boys didn't let me do it, so I learned on my own. So she had kind of was like her whole big thing. I was like, okay, well, I've seen a lot of that before, and kind of that whole storyline. But I think hopefully he'll do more with her. But I thought she was just okay. Tony Leung as Wenyu.
Tony Leung as Wenwu. He brings a depth to a character that I felt for a long time the Mandarin was basically an Asian stereotype, and Marvel they've not shied away from that. And in like the past couple of years, they've kind of like revamped that character, given him a lot more depth, made that character really cool. And Lung, he brings so much depth to it that it's very hard to in certain scenes it's very hard to call him a straight up villain.
Yeah. He's one of the best kind of villains. Yeah. The villain that you can understand is reason.
Well, okay. I will meet you halfway on that, because I feel like was this actor, like, I couldn't have thought of a better actor for this role, because he is the he is the scariest dad. Like, that is the when that vein pops in his head, he scares you. And he
if you've ever been over at a friend's house for dinner, dad.
Oh yeah, that's the scary. Like, anytime it dealt with the friend and the brother and sister dynamic with the family, I'm like, okay, this guy is intimidating on a dad stern standpoint, knowing that he's a bad person. His motivation for being a villain, it was acceptable for me to a point until the end, because until they mention, like, oh, he's hearing these things, I was like, you lost me. That's because not only is the main motivation of most Marvel movies family, every villain, not every villain, but every person with a backstory who is hurt, who has depth, it starts with such and such person died. I am missing such and such person. I had this past person changed me, good life, lost them negatively due to my past or due to a thing. Now I am backtracking on who I am, and I put a 180 of all the progress I made, right? And so for me, I'm like, okay, that's standard. I accept that. But it wasn't
it's standard Marvel movie, but sorry to interject.
No, go ahead.
I do think it's very standard, but I think Tony Leung, he just brings so much screen presence and so much depth to that I think it elevates it above standard.
Yeah.
Right. But he's too smart as a person, though. He's too smart as a character, because the moment they say, like the minute you find out the truth of why he's thinking and his motivation is for what it is, it's like, you've proven for him to be super intimidating, smart, been alive for a very long time, but because he's so blinded by love, that he doesn't hear the reason to a point, which is why I can't compare.
There was something else going on. The rings
does that to people, man.
Well, they also hint that the rings also had like an effect too. That it was also like kind of like with the ring from The Hobbit, you know what I mean, or Lord of the Rings. It kind of had like a mental effect on it.
He was how old was he? Like damn near hundreds of years.
Yeah, thousands of years old.
Yeah,
and check it out. You got to think about it too. And I'm keep playing like benefit of the doubt, but before that, his whole thing of he was greed for power. This one entity stopped him and changed his life, and he lost that, and he put that on his children. Feel me? Like, he put that on his children. That's greed. That's why I feel like the last fight scene was it was deep. And so, like, I think a lot of that, his motivation yeah, we can take from it. Okay, they switched it over and gave him somebody to cry about because they died.
Mm,
But we never
mm.
seen a villain. We never seen a villain with somebody that was already being a villain stop in his tracks and lose something and fight for
Yeah,
grief.
yeah, we almost never see well, we don't see it done as well, I think, the villain who was that for 1,000 years, but then they try to like walk the right path, but the
Right.
past doesn't let go.
Yeah.
This this
It
this
was
this this short force of nature stopped him in his path. G, like he was looking. He like you said, you had to go through that same force at the right time, right?
Mm.
He
mm,
went through that forest. He studied that, and he went through that forest. But this force stopped him. This woman stopped him, motivated him to stop. Motivation again
Right.
to stop doing that, and it like that shit fucks you up. You've been living for 100 years. You don't think you're gonna have 100 years of grief? You know what living with 100 years of grief. We only live with 30 or 10.
yeah.
Chill is taking us to
I want to sound
Marvel.
my
I mean, Chill is taking us to Marvel Church right now. I mean, he's taking us to MCU Church. I mean,
Praise!
yeah. I mean, yeah. He's dropping some real
Well,
shit.
now, so Nick, are you ready to geek out on me? Because we're gonna stay. I want to stay with the topic of Wenwu, right? Are
Yeah,
you ready
let's do it.
to geek out with me? Okay.
Let's
So
do
with
it.
this character, how do you feel about the usage? Because every single Marvel movie they have to interpret things in the comics are way too powerful, or they're way too abstract or similar. And I know in the comics, the Ten Rings, they are on the minimal level of Infinity Stones for the control of reality, time, space, things like that. How do you feel about the interpretation of what the rings can do?
Well,
But
even with this movie, we still don't 100% know what they can do. We get the 10 rings. They're basically like just like magnet weapons almost,
Yes.
which I didn't have a problem with. I think what their purpose is going to get explored more the more we see Shang Chi, and especially given
yeah,
the way the film ends.
Yeah.
Yep.
definitely physical attributes. That's it.
Yeah, we don't know if it's like alien tech. We don't know if it's magic. We don't know if it's like other dimensions.
Yeah.
Do you feel like do you like the usage of how the Ten Rings, their ability so far, were shown on display, and then
Oh,
going
yeah.
from bracelets to not actual rings?
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that because we've already gotten something like the Infinity Stones, which is just a bunch of rocks. And I think having them just like be bracelets that you can just like whip around, it opens the door for like a lot of cool effects that you can see.
Mm.
Yeah. I thought the use of the rings are pretty nice and pretty cool. Different from the comics because in the comics it's actual rings that you wear kind of on your fingers, things like that. So they kind of have these bracelets in a way, and the way he used
Especially in the context of a martial and implementing them into the, you have a lot more. You have a lot more opportunity for cool stuff when you have it like using them literally as a weapon.
yeah.
Right. So for people who have not seen the movie, there's a couple of abilities that the rings can do. There's times when Wenwu gets shot at. If he'd be shot at near the bracelets, they work like shields. Okay, so they're very Wonder Woman esque, and they kind of take aesthetic from other characters. So when they shoot projectiles, the one ring will shoot out. It's more like an Iron Man repulsor. When he
Yeah.
punches, he's super strong, but only because a ring will help propel that force a whole lot more. I think the coolest shit in the world is like he can use the rings like an electromagnetic, like you said. That's the best analogy for it, like an electromagnetic whip. And like the way he jumps, like for him, he's doing like some shocker level, propulsion to jump around and move around and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
That's pretty
what
cool.
he's doing with it and how cool they get with it. And if you like, okay, for me, when Shang-Chi deals with the rings, I'm like, this is the most Sonic the Hedgehog fucking ring.
It is, but
Yeah.
it is, but you can't. I'm not gonna lie. When that scene happens, I was geeked in my chair. I was like, yeah.
I didn't even know what the hell was going on. I was like, it doesn't look good.
Like Sonic can't handle these rings, man. The rings are so good.
Yeah.
Because like there's so I've never seen a weapon in Marvel so far that's so versatile and what it can do. Like even Doctor Strange weapons we've seen so far, like even with the Wand of Atum or the Eye of Agamotto, Hela's helmet, or the Chaos Blade she has. Like these rings have so much ability to do different things. And so, from what we saw at the movie, or what they possibly could be, I'm hoping Shang-Chi gets more powerful, because at this point, I would put him to scale. I'll put him on like above Captain America level, but not so much where he can like fight somebody like Iron Man. You know what I mean?
I'd put him on a little bit above like Hawkeye.
Really?
Or
You
like
think
Sam
so?
Wilson.
Oh, you put him
I would say he could beat Sam. I can see Captain America Sam Wilson. I still think he can beat him. I still think Shang-Chi can beat Sam.
Yeah.
And we gonna keep that in mind, Nick, because we gonna have to discuss that. What you just said. You know it right now.
Yeah. So
argument for that one. Take it to church though.
Yeah. So I mean, Elijah brings up, a good point, mentioning the rings and how they use them in the movie, which is very cool. And the way Wenwu uses them is also very effective. I mean, the scene where he goes to take his son to deal with some business in the movie is very effective.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best like scenes of rage in a Marvel movie, especially the way it's shot, because it's almost like from just like a mirror in the wall that you don't even realize it.
I thought that was really.
It was literally the scene. It's literally like when your friends tell you, or like when you see, like when you bully a kid in school, or like you get bullied in school and the kid takes his dad along, like and dad's like,
my dad can beat up your dad.
Yeah.
No, like dad's like, so who did it? He's like, I'm over there. He's like, all right, stay here. I'll be right back.
I bet.
no words. Like not a single word. He just walks up.
Yeah.
Start beating everybody.
I'll tell you, you know what? Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
So I just want to say, just get into some things we didn't like about it, and then we're going to get into final thoughts, and then we're going to get into spoilers, and then ratings. Kind of what we didn't like about it, then kind of ratings, and then we're going to go into spoiler talk after that. So chill, go ahead.
Oh, hey, shout out to Chat Attack too in the chat, man.
Hey, what's up, Chat Attack?
Chat Attack, what's good? Oh, shit. Oh, so yeah. What I didn't like about it, man. What I didn't like about it. Let's see. You know what? Overall, not overall, but I guess, yeah, like the jokes. The jokes, those standard way of how Marvel does their jokes, and they do those slight pauses for their jokes for you to laugh. I just wasn't feeling kind of that shit, and only you can tell like they was doing it, and then it kind of really hit and flowed towards the end, because it was a couple jokes at the end were a little bit better. So that kind of like got me off a raw set. Like, man, I want to hear all these goddamn jokes. As far as like another thing, I just still don't get the whole why the fuck make him a slacker, because it felt like he was just a clout chaser. Bro had a apartment, you know what I'm saying? So it was like I just didn't understand that from the way that he grew up. It didn't feel that way. Like,
honestly, the most unrealistic thing is that That's the most unrealistic thing.
I'm sorry, you kind of cut out there.
Yeah, you cut out.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Oh,
Nick?
sorry.
You cut out.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, let's be honest. The most unrealistic thing in this movie, two valets can afford to live in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Facts,
Yeah, that is very. I don't know. Maybe they give good customer service. I don't know.
But as far as like another thing that I kind of didn't like is they made it obvious that they was trying to self-serve too many stories. Or matter of fact, it made it obvious that they were giving too much to certain stories and not giving enough to certain people. It's like, why the fuck you even got them in there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
this is
okay.
So, yeah, this is the first Marvel movie that take place after
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
no, after Spider-Man. After Spider-Man, future-wise, yeah,
Far From Home.
Yeah.
And besides that, I mean, I do praise, I guess, the action getting into the shit, but overall, I just don't praise that the story was well rounded enough for me.
Mm.
I feel like it was just a amalgamation in the story. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the story kind of pissed me off because it was just it was the mysticism of fucking Doctor Strange. It was the fighting of fucking the Russo brothers and all
Mm.
that shit. Just the just the magneticness and shit like that. So it just didn't round it out for me in the story wise.
Mm.
It's just like a lot of things that I just didn't get that I hate that stop like Marvel is starting to do this little shit where they're really finger feeding us shit. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of like fuck, how the fuck, and I'm sorry for cursing like this, but it
Yeah.
gets to a point where I do want to enjoy these movies, but at that point, and this is not overall what I think about the movie, but at overall, when the story finger feeds us like this shit, it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, okay, now I gotta fucking like, my anxiety gets high. I gotta anticipate another movie, man. I gotta anticipate what's gonna be in this movie so I can see what's in this. It. But other than that, side note, one thing that I did forget about what I liked, I need to see the Wong side story of his fucking Street Fighter career. That's all I
Yes. Yes. No, every single Marvel movie needs Benny Wong to come.
Yeah.
I fuck with Wong. I fuck with
Yeah.
Wong.
So with me, I'd say a lot of my critiques, I'd say I'd have very similar ones. I have something like Doctor Strange. I think the movie it deals with so many like big concepts, and I think the movie's just a little bit too fast paced, which is a good thing and a bad thing because it introduces so many great characters that I want to spend more time with. Especially, I want to spend more time with Tony Leung's character. I always want to see more Michelle Yeoh in this.
Yeah.
I do think there is a character introduction that, while I enjoyed it, it gave a little more context to previous stuff in the MCU. But I think if it's gone, it doesn't really it doesn't really take away anything in the movie. I don't agree with the whole like stopping for jokes because they felt organic.
Okay.
But honestly, this is probably this is up there with my favorite Marvel movies. I just had such a fun time, and it was so cool, seeing like a $200 million Marvel movie with people that look like me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just so fun to see, and I have like my nieces, my nephews, they can see someone that looks like them.
Okay.
That's so awesome to hear, though, man, because I really do.
Yeah.
Even though people joke about it, like I really do feel like this is the Asian America Black Panther, and I'm glad that Marvel can represent another demographic this kind of way on a big scale with a mostly Asian cast.
And it's done with as much faith in it.
You cut out there again, Nick. You cut out there.
Not only that, but that this kind of representation, it's done with as much love and care and respect as it is in this.
Yeah.
That's a key word, though. The movie, nothing, even though it was Marvel-isms in the entire movie, it was nothing but respect. Like, I did not, the beautiful thing is that I did not feel a single, outside of Aquafina, I didn't feel a single cringe moment in the entire film. I didn't feel like it was very ham-fisted. I didn't feel like it was very stereotypical. And I feel like, I don't know between you and your girlfriend, but do you feel like anything was kind of too stereotypical or too offensive at all?
Well, she felt like the movie ripping off a lot of Chinese cinema, which I just said that's the point. It's paying tribute to movies like that. It's paying tribute to stuff like House of Flying Daggers, to stuff like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Yeah, it's paying loving tribute to Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan.
All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna move into things I didn't like, and then maybe I'll just wrap up my final thoughts and give a rating there, and then I'll hand it over to Elijah to do the same thing. So with me here, also a shout out to Jevin Good. Thank you for the 20 bits, man. Really appreciate it there.
So cute.
Also, yeah, with the chat attack, that's the pre-show that the DT has before on Twitch. Before they start streaming, they'll usually do a pre-show with chat attack. So people, they get the nice people warmed up, do a nice stream there, and then they hand them over to DT for their Twitch. So yeah, shout out to them, the crew over there. But so my things I didn't like about it, like I said, I liked about the first half of it that it's a really good martial arts movie. I enjoyed the performances of it. I enjoyed the platonic friendship between Aquafina and between Simu and Liu. I mean, you rarely kind of see that of just men and women just kind of just being good friends like that. I think you need more of that in cinema, and just more of just men and women just in general just working together. I think you just need a lot more of. So the things I kind of didn't like about it, I think that it is, very much a tribute to those kind of martial arts films, like, Nick mentioned things like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, things like House of the, Flying Dag, things like Hero with Jet Li in it, very much of that type of Asian cinema. And I think somewhat of that, it's you kind of struggle to find your own identity, and you kind of make your own strides. You're so busy paying homage to these other things, you got to be able to make your own kind of identity there. And I think sometimes it kind of doesn't do that, even though these scenes are impressive. Like we mentioned the bus scene plenty of times, but there's also a scene where they fight outside a building, kind of on these kind of bamboo kind of area, and I thought that was very nice. I think the fight between when Tony Leon meets his wife in the movie, I think is very good. I think that's very effective. That's a very nice action scene. Where the movie kind of, for me, just kind of really kind of goes down a little bit is when they kind of more, they go to China, they go to the fight ring area. Really, people seeing it in the trailer, the cameo of Abomination. Really, there's no real point for Abomination to be there. It's just to say like, oh, hey, that's Abomination. Hey, that's Wong. That's there. That's kind of the only point that's there. And then, further down the line of the film, when it comes to the last kind of third act, it does what kind of these Marvel movies do, what we kind of criticized before, what I criticized in Black Widow, what I criticized about Black Panther. It's like, okay, hey, that's nice. You did that cool stuff. Now sit down and watch the big battle. And it's just a CGI fest. And it's like, what the hell is happening? It's CGI bukkake all over the screen, and things are happening. And it's just like, what the hell? And then, and then when they go to, the place where there is, they especially use a lot of CGI, which you can tell they're really in front of a green screen. I know a lot of stuff they are in front of a green screen, but you could like really tell in the Pacific place they were, I felt like. And you can just say like, hey, here's a new Disney park that you can go to. Look at it, you know what I mean? Enjoy it. Look at all these beautiful colorful things. Here's the next Disney park we're going to build for you, just like how we build Wakanda at Disneyland. We're going to also build this place here at Disneyland as well. So I felt like very much like that they were setting that up for that, to marketing, for that, and all these different creatures that they had at this, this place, this magical place. So I was like, okay, this is really, really kind of dipping down there for me. And then that ending was just like, man, you had a really good movie here, the really, really, really good movie, martial arts movie, and you just ruined it with this kind of, CGI bukkake fest that you had.
I don't think the movie's ruined by that, but I did get a little bit of that CG fatigue. But you also have to remember that this movie, the tail end of its production was during COVID. It was like in the initial part of the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay.
I would give it a pass.
Okay, so there's a little bit of that, but maybe ruin is a strong.
There is a little bit of you can feel Mickey in the room. It's like, oh, you gotta make some toys. Oh,
yeah, toys and everything like that, action figures and all these other stuff that kids would want, to buy.
Motherfucking plushies.
And yeah, I mean that's kind of how it felt about Black Panther. It's like, hey, this is a really good movie, but then it's like CGI rhinos and then all this other stuff. It's like, what the hell are you doing? And then it's again.
Yeah, but I think the CG here is a little bit better than it was in the theatrical cut of Black Panther.
Yes, I mean the CGI here
in the cuts that went to theaters. I think it got better as Black Panthers come on like Blu-ray and 4K.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And maybe ruin is a strong word, because I still thought it was a solid movie. It just just really, I mean, man, it was going really good. And then Siaman Liu, because the reason they got him, because I think it was between him and another guy. Nick, do you know who the other guy was supposed to be? It was like he was in competition.
I think it was like a three-way race between like him, Louis Tan, and Andrew Koji for this role.
Yeah, and the reason they went with him is because he had comedic experience with Kim's Convenience on Netflix. That's the reason they really held. And it's used to great ability here because he's good at very good at comedy. So I think that was pretty good.
Yeah,
But
he has great comedic timing, and yeah, he brings so much charm to Shang-Chi that for me, it's kind of like on the level of Tom Holland's Peter Parker. He just is so charming in that role.
yeah,
Whenever he's like given a little bit of levity.
yeah. So yeah, I still thought it was a strong movie. It's just that ending is just like. Ah man, it's another two big battles, armies fighting each other, and it's like, ugh, okay. But you could have just did something smaller scale and more personal. But overall, I still give it a strong. Well, I give it a light 7 out of 10 for me. Elijah, dislikes, final thoughts, and rating. Then we'll dip into spoilers.
I'll try to speed run through this. Okay, we already beat down Aquafina as much as we could because that was like the main thing.
I can't even get down on her that much, man.
I won't, but like so. So for me, Shang-Chi, great. Sister, motivation. I get that she was abandoned. I agree. The whole plot thing with like I gotta build my own empire. Well, yes. The aspect of like women shouldn't be in the army, they shouldn't be assassins. Like I totally get that. For her to have to try to make her own empire, that motivation for that kind of came out of nowhere. She's kind of mimicking her dad. I kind of would have thought she would have walked away from that like Shang-Chi did. But
well, that's kind of that's kind of a thing with Asian families. You kind of get the rebellious kid, and you kind of get the one who ends up following in the footsteps.
Right. So I'll let that be a pass. And when we get the spoilers, I'll complain more about it later. As far as like you said, Josh said earlier, Abomination. I'm a big person for Easter eggs. I love that Easter egg. I feel like he was kind of nerfed. I don't know why. Like, hey, was Wong doing his thing? Hell yeah, Wong's pretty dope. I love Wong because I feel like now that Stan Lee's gone, I think Wong's going to be the character to pop into every single movie. I think they're set him up for that. I will say that I dislike the villains in the movie. I feel like they are on Cobra level, like G.I. Joe Cobra level villains, where they're not threatening. They're bad, but they're not threatening. Their weapons are electrified, but they're not sharp. So I didn't feel it. I'm not saying it should have been like The Raid, where I feel like people are going to bleed. Only to be a bloody kung fu film, but I felt like people didn't get hurt as much as they should. They fell off buildings. They got beat up by their dad, and people got propelled 20 yards away, but nobody really. There's no tension. I didn't feel like the characters were under a lot of threat. We knew who was going to survive. Nobody of importance died. Not saying they have to, but I feel like the entire time everybody had their literal dragon plot armor on, so they didn't really get hurt. It didn't move fast. It didn't move fast enough for me. There were dry parts in between getting captured. Not really spoiled, but getting meeting the dad, things like that. I still have issues with Wenwu being mind controlled. They very logical person. But I still disagree with the whole mental thing, and I'm just gonna go with it with no any kind of reasoning. I still have questions about I'll admit I missed the first 5 minutes of this movie. What is this village? Why does he live this long? Full rings abilities we'll get to know in maybe another movie. These creatures, where do they come from? But at the same time, though, I think episode 4 of What If, because I feel like that creature that we saw, that was, if you watch episode 4 of What If, I'm like, okay, maybe it's one of those, not an alien, but it's a mystical creature from another dimension that we kind of get glimpses at in the What If episode. We're like, okay, this is this being power. It is of this, like Shimagorath or any other character, like it's of this importance, can do this things. This, even though they're not from where's Doctor Strange from? The temple that he trained at, even though these people in this village in this dimension aren't from here, it's almost of the same wavelength of what their importance is. I dig that. CG was cool. The way they got there, I was kind of like, oh, the effects were cool, but I'm like, where they got there was kind of like, all right, a cute creature led us the way, da-da-da. They used Bing Kingsley too much.
It's kind of, it was.
Yeah, that's the spoiler. Well, cats out of the bag.
Well, 10 Rings. My bad. Yeah, that is a spoiler. I'm sorry, but for the most part, it got Dragon Ball Z esh. It got
Yeah.
kaiju battle
Mhm.
esh, and I was kind of like, that's a little bit too much for me. I give the movie a 6. There are highlights, but there's still like a lot of questions, especially when they got into the after credit scenes. But that's kind of my feelings about it.
All right. Chill. What's your final thoughts, rating?
Shit. Okay, so see, you seen it today, Jay. So you got it like fresh in your mind. When did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it last night.
Last night. When did you see it? I'm pointing like I'm really in the room.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Why? Who? Like, how you know who you point to?
You're like pointing.
Yeah.
When did you see it, Elijah?
I
Elijah,
saw it last night at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I saw it last night too. You know what I'm saying. And overall, like I said, I think I really enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself watching this film. I enjoyed myself thinking about the aspect of just like Black Panther, we got a black ass superhero. Now we got an Asian
Mm.
and do a cool karate. So, like just that whole world and my imagination, my own self, makes me very excited. As watching the movie and everything and just looking through it and just like kind of like into it, yeah, that shit got really slow in the middle, dog. Like right when they were going to like Japan, I mean going to wherever they went to,
Yeah.
and
China.
and yeah, and then it kind of just fucking really fucked me up because looking at that, I'm watching the movie, man. I'm enjoying myself. I am enjoying the fight scenes. The fight scenes is very dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I don't want to say very dope. Not no Kiss of the Dragon dope. That's one of my favorite. But it's dope. And I love that. And Marvel does this all the times. Where I don't know if y'all want to notice this, but they in all the action scenes, not because they saved some fucking body, but it's always scenes in the choreography in that movie, especially on the train when we first see him, where he really starts becoming being Shang Chi and being like, okay, this is a cold motherfucker right here
Oh
because
yeah.
he did something where he jumped across the train and kicked dude and shit like that. So it was like just little things like that that I felt I appreciated him as built as a motherfucker finna get with the Avengers. I appreciate that. As far as the whole movie go, that shit was rushed, dog, and it really fucked me up because at the end of the day, I really wanted to see a fucking movie with him and his sister because once his sister just got in there, I just really want to see him and his sister. You could have did a story with him going off and then him with his sister, and they just building their whole shit up, and they gotta come together now for their pops. They pops looking for their fucking ass. Get your ass on home. I know where the fuck you at.
Yeah.
So
It
it's
was
like
kind of to the side,
that would really piss me off with the whole movie getting to that point because that's all I kept saying, and I give it a 5.
A 5. Oh, okay.
Ooh, a 5. Okay.
I don't understand. Y'all throwing out 7s. I'm like, shit, that's pretty high.
I
I
said
need to see
6.
my
Man,
whole. I'm real.
man, y'all gonna be mad when I get my rating.
I don't be mad at no. I don't. I'm not mad at the people that like I said. You could feel more strongly for the views that I may have, or may what he may have, or whatever, and you get it out of that. But it's just like I just got so pissed off at that point where this could have been a whole different movie, and all the time I'm just imagining this shit could have been better with just him and his fucking sister. We don't need Aquafina. Aquafina, baby, I love you. I love you. I love you 3 times.
She's watching the show right now.
Yeah. So Nick, so what was your rating?
So,
Yeah.
all right, so
11.
me, no, me. I do think the movie is a little bit too fast. I think they fall a little bit too hard on the big CG fight ending. When I think the movie would have been better served if the story was like smaller scale, if it was more personal. But that being said, I still enjoyed the fuck out of it. I love the choreography. I think the performances from Simu Liu, Aquafina, and Tony Leung, I think they're all spectacular. I liked the little Easter eggs that were giving that little bit of connective tissue to the MCU. And I just cannot wait to see Shang-Chi interact with guys like Captain Bruce Banner or Wong or Doctor Strange. I can't wait to see what they do with this character down the line. Fine. So for me, I was very high on this. I'm giving this like 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
That's fair. I can respect that.
I respect.
And it a lot of that is probably owed to I recently saw Mortal Kombat, the live action movie, and Snake Eyes, and I was let down hard by both.
Yeah. All right. So,
Because I was let down when Cole said, I'm from Chicago, Illinois. You know, that let me down, man. I am going to Gary, Indiana, bro. Gary, Indiana is terrible, bro.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
All right, so we're gonna move into spoilers here. So just mute us. Yeah, mute us real quick. We're gonna discuss spoilers for maybe like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, we'll do a quick spoiler discussion, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
All right, ready? 3,
All right.
2, 1. Big Kill's in the movie.
Yeah.
Trevor Slattery's back.
Yeah. Trevor Slattery's back. I thought that was kind of a useless cameo. I thought, then he. It was.
Me too. Me too, and it kind of didn't make sense for Wenwu to not just kill that dude on the spot.
Yes. But I disagree, though. I feel like because they have a lot. Because to your point, Nick, you said earlier, like they've been hinting at, and there's been the 10 rings and a lot of Marvel movies. They were on a smaller scale than Hydra because they were in Iron Man 1, Iron Man 3. They popped up in Ant-Man, and that was kind of about it. And so
but given the timeline of the movie when Wenwu was retired, it kind of makes sense that they've more or less gone in the dark.
Yeah.
So like possibly they say the wife died when Shang-Chi was like 7, so that'd be like 2002-ish because they met in like 1996.
Yep. You're right.
So probably just like getting everything back together 2008 when they pop up again in Iron Man 1.
Yeah. And how'd they explain that? They said that a guy from America mimicked the 10 rings.
Yeah. They say Guy Pearce, which let's be real, that's exactly what he did. He appropriated the name the Mandarin.
He got white.
They address in the movie as a scene that if they're ever going to drop an F-bomb in a Marvel movie, just say, fucking white people.
Yeah. And also, so there was two post-credit scenes. There's 2 credit scenes that you hear. So the first one is...
The first is a round table of Wong, Captain Marvel, and Bruce Banner, who for some reason is not Professor Hulk. I guess he can control when he changes now. Hopefully he's going to get dressed in She-Hulk. And they're talking about, his arm's still fucked up from Avengers Endgame from when he did the snap, which great continuity.
Yeah. And
they don't know what the fuck the 10 rings are. They ruled out, okay, it's not vibranium, it's not alien tech, and it's not any kind of magic that Wong
Yeah,
and they say that it is a beacon, and they don't know who it's reaching out to. So it's possible. I think it's possible that the 10 rings are gonna tie into the Eternal.
That's a good guess. Maybe, yeah, that's probably a good guess. Yeah. Some weapon from the Eternals, or some situation like that. I mean, the energy it did give off when Shang-Chi was using it, did very much look like the way their powers look in the Eternals trailer. If you look at that trailer,
it looked kind of like what we saw in the Eternals trailers, and then it leads into my favorite moment with Wong. It was like, yes, go home, get some rest. Right.
Or
it's some bullshit with one of the Eternals, Shang-Chi daddy from a long time ago, and he just gave bullshit as an anniversary gift. Man, if I find that out, man, I don't want to hear that, man. That's bullshit. And I'm sorry, that was bullshit. That was bullshit.
Cool.
Now y'all just detecting shit. Now y'all detecting everything, huh? Y'all been for 5 years. Now these motherfucking done ruled over fucking shit. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm sorry. See, you shouldn't have gotten the spoilers. I'm gonna get mad because they giving us shit. They giving us shit. Oh, he went for hundreds of years and just fucking shit up. Fury's been around. Uh, Men in Black been around, goddamn it. All these motherfuckers been around and seen all this shit, but they never seen nothing with Shang Chi in them. All of a sudden, now for 5 years, they've been tracing shit, looking for the rings, and now all of a sudden, oh, they see some shit in Asia. They never said this shit in Endgame. They giving us too much shit, man. And then also, now you finna give us some Peter Quill shit with fucking Shang-Chi. Because you gotta think about it. What does Mama say? His mama said, we are empowered by gods or some shit like that. You already know she different. Why we ain't getting none of that in the movie? We already know she's different. Shang-Chi is doing shit. He is superhuman. He is not a human. He is superhuman.
Like Star-Lord's dad, because that's
Yes,
confusing
they
because he had these powers, and like I was so confused by that. These powers are very like vague.
Well, I think. Well, if I don't know. I mean, this is me. I guess because his mom had powers, and she only had powers because she was from that place. And then he was training in that place. Then he learned her martial arts, so he learned how to do the powers of the people who was in that place.
Yeah, but that's also a thing that's in just there. It's like an it's like a elevated. It's like a different reality that they operate in.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you like this: sperm don't lie. What you in? Yeah, man. Sperm do not lie. That shit carries over. If she been a part of that, if Matt Murdock go have a baby right now, and with Spider-Man, Mary Jane,
What?
and it's gonna come out.
What? Okay, I don't know. Okay, what the fuck?
Oh
All
my God.
right. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Okay, this is going off the rails here.
Damn. Yeah, dude, you're coming in and out.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right,
Collect yourself. Take a deep breath.
they do leave a lot of things that
Woosah,
aren't
motherfucker.
explained. Yeah,
Just saying,
they leave
man.
a lot of things that aren't explained.
He's flying. I'm telling you, all through the movie, that's all I was thinking. Was like, wait, what is he, man? Let's go back to that. Why his mama say that? Let's go back to that. But no, we never got it. All I got.
Yeah, Elijah.
My
what we-
biggest,
yeah.
one of my biggest issues is like I felt like the soul suckers were weird the way they described them, the way they talked about them, and how they popped in. I mean, they were threatening. Believe me, that was probably one of the scariest creatures I've ever seen in a Marvel movie. But like the way they describe them and how they're super crazy powerful and they're gonna be sealed by this way, and then the dragon popped out, and the dragon's like a water bender, like all that stuff like that. I'm like, okay, there are elements and powers and abilities in the movie that are very not well.
They're not well established.
They're not well. Yes,
they just kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, yeah, that's true. I'd stop accountability a long time ago.
Even the 8 out of 10 I give grudging because I think the first 2 acts of this, I think 9 out of 10. The third act, I think closer to like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
What was Buddy name in the Blue? They did him bogus.
Blue.
Death Dealer.
Y'all ain't even
Yeah,
mention.
he went out like.
Mm.
I could because I could like million arrows all over the place, right? I could have like literally looked at him dying, and then like had it blow in our hands.
Yeah.
And didn't shoot shit. I was like, okay, like
Yeah.
he literally kind of trained you, kind of vouched for you. Like he was like the mini mentor for like maybe 2 scenes, but you kind of like, oh shit, he's dead.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, she was just kind of looking at him there, frozen, I guess. But I was just kind of like, I mean, do something.
Yeah,
shoot.
but he probably was involved in one of the favorite line of dialogue in the movie when Wu goes to that village and he just like sits him down and is like, "You be very careful when you talk to me, young man."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, damn, that was cold.
Yeah.
Can you explain why he's so old?
Because of the rings.
Oh, they say the 10 rings they gave him immortality.
Yeah, eternal life. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they do the, yeah.
I guess the last thing I noticed about the movie is like a lot of cool Easter eggs that I feel like we need to bring up now.
Oh yeah, especially in that underground fighting ring. See, like you You see a Black Widow fighting an extremist guy. You see.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Oh, I missed
my
that.
favorite.
I didn't see that. Oh, I missed that.
The extremes
What's
popped up
that?
in two things. It popped up in Age of the Shield and it popped up in Iron Man 3, and that was it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I missed that. Huh? I got to go back and look at the movie again. I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And
I think I
the
saw
Black
like a
Widow.
Kree fighting in the background. The Skrulls. I think I saw that.
Now, Nick,
Huh.
did you notice the homage they paid to one of my favorite martial arts movies at the end of Shang Chi when he was fighting that Soul Sucker? Do you see what he did? His last move?
Oh fuck! Oh, it was like the fucking. I can't remember what it was. I don't remember.
Dude, you cannot tell me he didn't pull a kung fu hustle at the end or the giant hand comes
Oh! Oh shit! I missed that.
like, ah! He fucking killed that thing. I was like, that's the only thing I think of when that last move came out. I was like, that's literally kung fu hustle. That's fucking dope. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still, man. I just didn't like those cutscenes. I just didn't like them, man. I don't care, man. Why y'all all around
Yeah,
them?
yeah. I like the movie, but I think the third act it gets too large scale for its good. Kind of like how I felt about Black Widow. That I think I think a smaller scale climax of something more personal. I think it would have been better.
That Wenwu, Shang-Chi, and like a battle of morals, almost on a scale not as CG as the Black Panther and Killmonger fight, but I feel like that would have been enough for an audience to where there's enough tension and stake involved. You know?
Yeah, which we kind of get at the early part of that act. We get that epic fight scene between the two of them, and it does get very personal. And say what you will about when the soul sucker dragon comes out, but that scene where Wenwu gives up the 10 rings, that hit me emotionally.
Yeah.
And again shows how great an actor Tony Leung is. He conveys all of that emotion and regret with just his eyes.
Yeah.
And I love him so much, but I still feel like the whole mind control, mental manipulation, like they didn't say it was the rings, but Josh, like you said, it was grief. But at the same time, though, this monster manipulating you to hear your wife, but at the same time, though, like you're not seeing this destruction that happens around you. That parts for me were like the villain so maintained on his goal, but doesn't see the consequences actively around him. And it's not until this creature comes out where he's like, oh, probably shouldn't have done.
And it's like in his mind is, right.
Maybe my wife's not in there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that was a good discussion about Shang-Chi, everything like that. Got into some spoilers. Had great discussions. I don't know what
I do think it's worth seeing in a theater if you can make sure that you're socially distanced, keep your mask on. But otherwise, if you can't in those circumstances, I'd say go ahead and wait for Disney Plus. I do want people to see this because.
All right, so moving on from discussing Shang-Chi, going to discuss real quick What If episode 4. So in this episode we have Doctor Strange. So it's an episode about him. In this episode it's dealing with what if instead of actually it's what if his love interest from Doctor Strange, Christine, who I don't even remember her name actually because Rachel McAdams was kind of mainly forgettable in that movie. Even though I love Rachel McAdams, she's a great actress, but a lot of love interest in MCU projects are mostly forgettable.
Yeah, she was kind of given a thankless role.
Get my favorite Strange. My girlfriends now.
I loved her in that movie, but it was kind of a thankless role.
Yeah, no, I
know. Raised her importance in this episode.
Yeah,
and her importance is absolutely raised, and why she is such a vital character. Doctor Strange, which I hope they explore some of that in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. So in this, because the original Doctor Strange story that we saw was that he got into a car accident and he broke, all his fingers, and that ruined his career of being a doctor. So that's when he sought out the mystic arts. So in this one, it's, what if his love interest Christine had died, in the car accident. Nothing happened to him. It was just that his girlfriend had died, and then that's what sought him out to the mystic arts because he was lost due to being in love with her and then losing kind of the love of his life. And due to that, it kind of leads him down this dark path of trying to gain more knowledge and more power, into eventually kind of becoming this evil version of himself. And it has Benedict Cumberbatch, who has returned to voice Doctor Strange, as well as Tilda Swinton, who's still not Asian yet, but she's still the ancient one. But you know what I mean. She's still the ancient one here. Also has Benedict Wong in it coming back here.
Yep, I think the entire Doctor Strange cast rising their roles, at least the characters that we see.
Yeah,
because Benedict Cumberbatch is reprising his role. Rachel McAdams does the voice. Benedict Wong, of course, who please put him in everything.
Yeah,
let's go. Tilda Swinton's returning.
Yeah. And so in this episode, him kind of constantly doing that episode. Even though I didn't see Chiwetel Ejiofor, he was missing from this.
He wasn't in this.
Oh, hot. You're right.
Oh his character wasn't in here. Yeah. What was his character?
Dormammu had one cameo.
Mordo.
Mordo. Yeah. Would you say Elijah? I'm sorry.
I said Dormammu had one cameo, but that's the only villains that popped up. So the only two people who pop up, or three who pop up from the movie, is Wong, Ancient One, and Doctor Strange, and that's really about it. Outside of Christine.
Yeah, pretty much. So it has him kind of going through more and more pursuit of the power and everything like that, and falling down this dark path. So I'm going to go around. So Elijah, what did you think about the episode and some of the strong points and weak points for you there?
Let me say that I'm biased because Doctor Strange is my favorite Marvel character. I love magic and comic book movies and comic books themselves. I think this was my favorite episode by far.
100%.
Episode 2 was cool. Episode 1 was fun. Episode 3 was that was a great mystery. But I'm like, Marvel has not got more comic book in a television show until this episode right here, hands down. There's no argument in my mind. I do feel like they paced. This is the best pace episode, in my opinion. They did a good job wrapping up in 20 minutes or 27, 6, whatever minutes of origin. They skip the Comertage stuff, get to him being Sorcerer Supreme, having a time stone, and him struggling left and right. I do think that it was funny at one point. Can we say spoilers?
Yeah. Let's
do it.
Yeah, so hold on. Wait till everybody gives their thoughts and then rating for the episode, and then we'll go into spoilers.
Well, I guess we kind of spoiled the motivation of why he became, what he became. But I'm like, the way Christine went out, over and over and over again, that part wasn't.
That was.
It was comical at some point.
It was comical, but what this episode is kind of about, it's what grief does to people. Yes. And it's kind of like that negative road that you can take, and how close we were to getting this guy as the Sorcerer Supreme.
A villain.
Yeah.
And for me, it stuck. The love interest motivation of grief did not carry weight because we did not get that love in the first movie. But the way it went about and his struggle to fight against it carried weight in its own episode. And so I do feel like, even though it's comical that no matter what he can be a car crash, he can take an Uber, he can walk, he can not show up, no matter what, she just they literally went to the party, danced, and she just collapsed. I'm like, they didn't explain that, but it's crazy to me how the timeline. That was the funny part to me. But in the timeline, if you are destined to be this person, no matter what, destiny. And I don't know if it's a actual mystical being or magical thing, but no matter what needs to happen, this said thing has to happen no matter how you try to avoid it. It was cool to me the way he went to go seek out knowledge back in time towards the more ancient being, but I can't remember his name. He has a very special name that I can't think of the top of my head.
Obang, who is voiced by E.K. Amati.
And I thought it was cool how they built upon the lore of here's his hidden library of knowledge. And the way they went about Strange, because the movie itself was very sampler platter-ish of what the mysticism of Marvel could be, because they went full force in this episode.
his abilities were way beyond what we saw before. We saw different spells than we did in Endgame and Infinity War. We saw creatures and how, like in the comics, if you read Doctor Strange comics right now, they have to call upon other entities to have certain abilities. And the way they go about absorbing them, the same way Mordo did at the last credit scene of the movie, it makes sense how, like, okay, human beings or creatures or whatever, certain sorcerers can only hold so much magic, and to call upon or just straight up steal ability of somebody else is awesome. I feel like the Watcher had his best on how he's a nice person because he wants to help, he can't, but he will acknowledge that like this needs to be stopped because it's going to doom the entire universe. Now, if somebody gets hurt who's important, he's like, unfortunately, that's the way it goes. But the whole universe, let's say, he's like, I should say something, but I can't. But at the same time, though, I will acknowledge this person towards the end, which he did. Um, and I feel like for Doctor Strange, I disliked the motivation at the end. The same thing with Wenwu and Shang Chi is where like they don't understand their consequence. They don't think about it until the last moment, right? Where Doctor Strange's like, oh, so I'm this ugly, hideous creature. She's back to life. She's horrified by me, and everything's collapsing. Now I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't want the world to end. I shouldn't have done this. But like, your better half told you, like, hey, this thing is happening, and you don't see the destruction. People are really melting. Cars are melting. Universes collapsing left and right, but you don't. You know what I mean? And so it's that same mindset of like, well, people were in Wenwu's head of like taking over his mind, and I get Doctor Strange under influence, but that Marvel has not perfected character motivation perfectly in my head the same way they had with Killmonger and Thanos, in my opinion. So that was kind of like to me.
Okay. Chill. What did you think about the episode?
Man, y'all. I'm sorry, Nick. Man, Eli, man, y'all gonna think I'm preaching again, bro. Uh, it was a great episode, man. It definitely could have been like a movie, right? It definitely could have been a movie, and everything that y'all said was correct. But another thing that I feel like I need to point out, G, is that you got to think about who Doctor Strange was too as a person. Doctor Strange was a very material person. So Eli, when you say that these people don't have they don't know the ends of their consequences. Guess what? I bet you if that motherfucker was in the motherfucking thing and Christine was sitting there right with him, that motherfucker would still be happy, G. He would still be happy because what he wanted was the physical. What he wanted was the person. When you watch the first Doctor Strange, what was one of the things that they highlighted a lot? His car, his physical, his the way he worked, his fucking watches, his you know what I'm saying, like all his shit, his crib. Very material person. He wanted her in the physical. He didn't give a fuck if she was gone and she still loved him. That wasn't enough for him, and that's another thing this shit is telling you is that for some people, is some shit is not enough. They don't rely on mysticism. They don't rely on faith. They don't rely on shit like that. They rely on what they can do and what they can see can get done and what's in the physical. He was a surgeon. If he couldn't get a fucking surgery done, he was pissed. He knew he could do the shit himself. You know why? Because he can see it. If he got the bullet out your brain, he can see it. If he had this, he had it because he bought it. If he knew he can do this, he did it. That's why he picked out the different fucking surgeries when he was in the car. He's a material person, and this episode lets you know that for a lot of people, some shit is just not enough. And that's
Yeah. I kind of agree with you. Your assessment is strange. I think the biggest flaw of this character that Stephen Strange is a very arrogant guy. If like he's given the opportunity to try something, he's gonna take it. It's why the looks like the multiverse is fucked thanks to him, almost in a sense. And if he's like explicitly told not to do something, if he's like explained the consequences, he's always gonna think, yeah, but it'll be fine. I can figure it out. So for me, like the lengths he goes to in this aren't out of aren't out of the realm of possibility for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, true. And then let's not even just put the fault on him. We got to put the fault on the regular Doctor Strange, because like you said, every multiverse has a direct path. That person is the same person. Yes, he didn't do that. He didn't touch the motherfucking thing. But guess what? I bet you it's something else that he gonna fuck up. As goes in, fucking like you said, fucking Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? So choices, man. What if? What if, man? That's this show is about. G like, what if, man? And I'm sorry if I feel like I'm preaching on it, but
I get it, but I didn't even mind the inclusion of how important the character Christine is, because they do hint that there's romance in Doctor Strange. They felt more like amicable exes than they did like actual romance, but there's enough here that I wasn't bothered by her inclusion in this What If episode.
no, not at all.
If you are right, they did do the trade off with, like, he was distracted by his hands in the first movie. So I guess if the opposite happened, that I guess between he's not gonna lose. He's rich regardless. He won't lose the materials, but I guess if you can word it that way, even though it wasn't displayed well in the movie, if he did lose his hands and he did lose Christine, that does make more sense. Their love wasn't shown as much in the movie, but she was loyal to him. So I get where that was.
But there's a small point, I think, towards the very end of Doctor Strange where, like, this one broken watch that he like took to that event, they reveal that it was a gift from Christine.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and that was a callback from the movie, because he had that watch that he got from Christine in the movie too, in the first Doctor Strange movie. So that watch that he got from her. Yeah, I think that the episode is pretty strong. I think this is it's between this episode, I think, and the T'Challa Star-Lord episode as being my favorite of so far of What If. I think, the whole thing, with him kind of going down this kind of darker path is very interesting. And then, like Elijah mentioned, the deaths of Christine kind of did become comical. It was like the worst Groundhog Day ever situation. And
yeah, but there was a little comical, but I think the voice performance, they constantly sell it as this tragic thing, as this very like dark and emotional thing that would drive Strange down this path.
Yeah. And then, it made even worse, like when the H1 came out and says having car trouble. It's like, bitch, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, he just saw this girl die the 30th time and she come out with puns. It's like, Jesus Christ, lady, come on. Right. It's like, come on. But yeah, and then, it's something the H1 did in it was she, when they kind of have a standoff and, about him seeking more power, and she split him into two. So now there were two Doctor Stranges in the same universe. And then when, Doctor Strange kind of, is gaining this power, and starting to look like Jafar from, Aladdin, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
And first of all, I think that was a great battle square off when it was the two Sorcerer Supremes, because to see Doctor Strange, fight and see him use his magic is very interesting. Like, kind of some of my favorite scenes in Infinity War was when seeing Doctor Strange fight Thanos and seeing what he could do with the magic, and then turn it into the butterflies, and using it to when he multiplied himself, and then used the whips and everything like that. I thought that was kind of really interesting and really cool. I want to see more of that and him use his powers. And here in this animated field, you're able to do even more so with that. So I thought that was very nice. So I enjoyed the episode quite a bit. Nick, what were kind of your overall thoughts about the episode?
This is probably my favorite.
You cut out there again there, Nick.
Oh, sorry. I think the best thing about What If is you can play around with different tones in every episode. The first episode, we talked about it last week. It was that 40s serial story. T'Challa's Star-Lord episode, that was very fun, swashbuckly, space Pirates of the Caribbean almost. The third's a murder mystery. This is like dark, apocalyptic tragedy. And all of them work. All of them work just as well.
Yeah. Very much so, yeah. So I guess we can do a little bit of spoilers here, get into a little bit of spoilers, discuss more stuff about the episode in depth. So if you haven't seen it, just be wary of there. So spoiler wise,
and Javon Good brings up a good point. T'Challa's episodes, she's saying that's still my fave. I'd say this one I'd put them on the same level, but for different reasons.
Okay.
Yes.
So what did you guys want to discuss specifically with spoilers and things like that as wise? Because Elijah,
What is going on, man? That's what's going on. That's what we need to discuss. Why? Why you splitting shit? Why you fucking with shit? Now what's going on? Now we got little fucking cubes and shit. We don't know what's going on, man. They splitting shit up. This supposed to be in the movies, right? So this supposed to all cross over, right? I don't know what's going on, bro. Even in the trailer, you see her. You see Captain Britain talking to Strange. Captain Britain is in the present time, right? What's going on?
Well,
When
there's
in the
hints
episode?
of bigger stuff. There's hints of bigger stuff going on because this is the first episode where the Watcher actually interacts with one of the characters. This is the first time, and it makes sense. It'll be with Doctor Strange because he's probably the only person that could see him.
yeah,
Or
Wait,
sense him.
And it's just like, hey, you fucked up. Live with it.
yeah.
What are y'all predictions?
I can't do shit.
End game of all this shit? Cause we splitting the tree of time. Tell me that.
I
That's a
think
hard
it.
one.
I think it could go either way. I think they could potentially into the like Marvel Multiverse project, or this could be what it's just pitched as its own thing, its own standalone, as own Marvel's version of the Twilight Zone.
And I want it to be that. I'd be more satisfied if this was the Marvel Twilight Zone because I want an episode with consequence. This is the first episode with absolute consequence where a character went the complete dark route and had to suffer in their own pocket, little miniature pocket dimension of what they did wrong and to live with that. Now they try to bring him back and do something else. I don't really agree with that. We're not too sure yet if anything from these what if episodes will continue on into the series because I'm worried that even though it's canon, it's still animated. So I'm not sure we'll see Captain Carter. I'm not sure if we're gonna see I don't know how to T'Challa, Space Lord or Star Lord when sadly Chadwick is gone. But also with most of the characters being dead in the third episode, I'm like maybe we might see a King Loki and see how that interacts with the story. But you got to think about it too. We have the Marvel zombies coming up.
I think a lot of these characters we've kind of already in Loki. I think that's the guy that ended up being like President Loki. The one that gets his like hand bitten off by by Florida Loki.
I couldn't see the progression, but maybe.
Yeah. I think this is very very strong episode. Like I said, seeing the Watcher kind of interact because it makes sense. Obviously, Doctor Strange can sense him, can feel him there. So his power and the fact that he's gaining all this power from all these different creatures, just kind of sucking in their souls. You know what I mean? Just like what Shang Chi did in their movie, just sucking in souls, basically, just all that. So it's basically the same thing he was doing there.
We got to come up with a different word for that phrasing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Soul snacking.
Yeah,
soul eating.
Yeah, soul eating.
Soul eating.
Soul eater. Yes. Soul eating there. So
love the anime.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, let's see. I'd give this for me. I think I give this episode an 8 out of 10 for me. I don't really have really much negative to say about the episode at all. I thought it was kind of very well done, and I mean, strong 8 for me. What about you guys? 8. Okay.
It's a borderline 9 for me, so I'll give it an 8.5. I love this episode. I do feel like Doctor Strange, as one of my favorite characters, they finally, which I complained about in the first movie, they showed his potential for his powers and his skill set. Because I feel like Doctor Strange is the most versatile character, move-wise, powers-wise, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes, is Captain Marvel a powerhouse? Sure. Is Eternals the guy in the trailer? Is he like a mini Homelander? Sure, he'll be Superman, Homelander, shooting eye beams, whatever. Vision is strong, Scarlet Witch is strong. She's a glass cannon because she still can be hurt. But I feel like Doctor Strange, there's so much possibility for what he can do, and we see him do like in the trailer for No Way Home.
Oh, he do magic.
He can literally change. He can change, like reset everybody's mind. He can turn back time. He can summon demons and take their power. But I guess my complaint about this episode was he it not saying it turned into a projectile only battle. Not only did they kind of mimic some of the movesets from Infinity War that we got teased at what he could do, but it's kind of like when it comes to actual fight with somebody, then he's not versatile because they can't really make him as broken as he maybe could be. So I mean, still 8.5 for me, but there's like a couple things where I'm like, it turned into like pew pew, like shoot lasers and bolts and things like that. They did
Mhm.
kind of
It's
standard magical battles we see.
it's magic.
I think they just do that because that's the easier kind of magical battle to translate to like a live action thing.
The thing with
That's
That's
fair.
easy to translate.
the thing with
Yeah.
magic, the way that I felt like they always use magic, or not always, but anybody use magic is like it's elements. It's one thing that affect this thing. You put some water on the fire, it go out. You put some fire on the water, it might go explode if it's a certain kind of water, whatever fucking be. I get an episode. I'm sorry.
Alchemy.
I mean, I didn't mean to give it an 8. I meant to give it a 10. It was good.
We got. I think we should make
Damn.
that right. Damn, it's good. Out of 10.
Dang!
Damn, it's
Yeah.
10.
Dang!
10 out of
All
10
right.
IGN.
All right. So real quick before we get into Mortal Kombat, just to switch some things up a little bit, just style and tone, real quick. I'm gonna discuss some music. Let's get into some music real quick. Chill, since you're the
Yeah, man, let's
DJ.
do it.
Yeah, you're a DJ
Yeah,
here. So, yeah. Oh, go ahead. What you say?
I didn't listen to either album. I'll leave it to you guys.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
well, I mean, I mean, so I guess what
well, I'll
I
introduce it.
mean, go
Yeah.
ahead. Okay,
Yeah. Okay. So for our first album review, we're gonna have discuss Donda, which is Kanye's 10th studio album. Kanye West, rapper, producer, fashion designer, billionaire, narcissist, madman, presidential candidate, all around. Just Kim Kardashian's husband, ex-husband, all around things like that. So we're discussing his 10th studio album here, Donda. Chill. What did you what were kind of your thoughts about that? You're the music guy here specifically.
well, one thing I don't know if Nick can still hear me, but one thing I'm definitely gonna tie because we're are we doing both together? We might as well
Yeah,
let's do both
yeah.
together.
Drake's certified lover boy as well. We're also going to discuss. Yes.
Yeah, so certified low boy Toronto native. Well,
Hmm.
not me. That motherfucker is. And I just want to say, I hope Nick hears me because I'm gonna culminate this whole conversation almost back to Doctor Strange. What is? So, uh, but yeah, you know, Donda CLB. I'll go with Donda first, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. I didn't watch none of the streams, right? Watch none of the streams, except for the Chicago stream. I said I had to watch the crib. Had to see what he was gonna do for the crib. I heard the album, man, and I heard the album during the stream. I was like, it's all right. I think the middle part turns up and then it kind of dies down. You know what I'm saying? As far as Donda, uh, but at the same time, it's something special about Donda. It's something very, very special about Donda when you listen to it. And any motherfucker can tell you it's something special about Donda when you listen to it. I'm not gonna sit here and say that is one of my favorite Kanye albums, but I think it will live in his library as strong as I think let's say Yeezus. I think it will come in front of Yeezus and live in his library just like that. Uh and as far as like CLB, look man, call myself man. Look, Jay. Look, Nick. Look. What? Elijah. If anybody been to my streams, man, I call myself the Yellow Boy. You know what I'm saying? Represent for all the light skinned folks in the world, bro. Like, and this this fool dropped some mid, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this, and I told you yesterday, I'm a Drake fan. You know what I'm saying? This shit was some mid, and I'm gonna tell you like this at the same time. The way I tie this to Doctor Strange is the same shit at this What If episode. It's this is the same shit. This is two motherfuckers that are just fucking fighting each other, making the same fucking music. You know why? Because when you listen to Donda, you listen to the shit that the kids are fucking saying, right? So you have that relatability. It just sounds better. You got Travis on there. You got Keem on there. You got Keem going fucking crazy on the track. So you're already relating to shit that's already on the fucking track, right?
Yeah.
And then you got LB, that fucking Drake doing the same shit, doing the same shit. He's doing the same young shit and sounds the same, and it just sounds like Drake imitating it. Both of these artists are fucking imitating each other. I both these, I listened to Donda about 8, 10 times. I listened to the Lover Boy about fucking at least 4 times. I listened to it 3 times today. 3 times today. 3 times. 3 times. And guess what that motherfucker did today? Do it. Cut him. Guess what both of them did today? Guess what they did today? He brought a video out for the worst fucking song on the album. The worst fucking song on the album, my guys.
And what song was that?
Earn it.
What song was that?
Oh my god. It's called Text Me. Oh my god. Why? Oh man, that's whack. And that's all I seen. But all of this shit that's going on, that's what I gotta say about these 2 albums. All this shit is fucking Doctor Strange bad and Doctor Strange fucking good going against each other. Cause all these 2 motherfuckers is the same 2 people just going at each other.
Whoa. We ain't never heard of Kanye in Millie Bobby.
You blinked out again.
Hey, we never heard Kanye in Millie Bobby. So let's not go that far.
But we have stupid ass lyrics where if you got a bleach hole, will that make my white tee bleached and shit like that? This Kanye on Donda is way more mature. Way more mature. Way more mature in the lyrics. Way more mature in the lyrics. Drake ain't mature in the lyrics. I'm the number. He gives these cringy ass lines. I'm the world's greatest single. I'm the world's greatest split marriage, single parent marriage, or some shit like that. Sounds stupid. That sounds stupid. And people say he's spitting. No, man, no. Kanye shit. You gotta listen to Donda, G. Donda is a churchy album, but it's a very, very dark album. It's a very, very dark album. It puts you in a very, very dark mood. The beats on there are very, very bleak. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. I love it. One of my favorite movies is The Crow. I watch that every Halloween. Okay? I love it. I love the darkness. I felt that shit when Bane said it. I felt it. I love it. My first album was It's Dark and Hell is Hot. I love it. This Drake shit, no. I don't know. I'm good. I'm not saying it's terrible, but this shit gets boring, bro. That shit gets boring. And guess what? These are the 2 same artists going against each other for no fucking reason. Because guess what? They imitate the same fucking sound. It's a devil in a blue dress on this fucking Donda album with West Side Gun in them. We don't need another devil in a blue dress. We don't need that. We don't need another fucking you and like Big Sean type song where you just put Baby Keem on there. Come on, Still Outside. Because that's a song that he will put Big Sean on there. You know why? Because the bass is heavy. Okay? We don't need that. We don't need another fucking fake ass flashing lights. Okay? But a lot of the lyrics on Donda is very, very fucking like dark. When you listen to Jesus Lord, that's some dark lyrics. Okay? And then listen to the version with the locks. Oh my God. The second versions of those songs on there are beautiful. I'm sorry, I like Playboy Cardi when he just jumps around and says asinine shit. So he sounds good. But on Drake shit, keep that shit with Cudi. You don't need that. That's terrible. We don't need that. That Top Dollar Sign? No. The last song you had with Top Dollar Sign on Scorpion was good. Okay? We don't need another Lord Knows with you and Rick Ross and you just gonna jump rain on there. Stop the imitating, bro. The songs sound good, but it's the same shit. Both of you motherfuckers. And that's it.
I need Chill to review every album.
No.
I need to hear that.
No.
I kind of want to hear that.
Elijah, so
Man.
what do you think?
Okay, all right. So real quick, first starting off, I don't have the music knowledge that Chill has, so he'll trump me no matter what on music knowledge. I'll admit that right now.
No,
And
but it's not about trumping though. It's not about trumping. It's the fact that you see, I named those tracks for y'all to go back and listen to them. Go back and listen to those tracks.
all right, so okay, real quick because I super 180 polar opposite disagree. Um, and Josh, I might need you to fucking help me out on this because I really don't care for this album by Kanye. I am a big person of I want to separate the artist from the art because what Kanye been doing the last couple of years, I try to separate that. So people try to cancel R. Kelly, people try to cancel a couple of artists for like all the dark stuff they've done in their past.
Okay,
But their
R.
art is
Kelly, you
still-
actually should cancel.
Hey man, I love the Space Jam soundtrack.
Sorry, you can't fuck kids and then be okay. No.
Fair. But at the same time, though, like Kanye also said that slavery was a choice. So like I'm like, you can't defend that. Plus, he also backed Trump. But at the same time, though, Chill, you cannot tell me this art album did not start out very great because the first song on the album, what is it? Donda, 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 Donda. Like it's a Donda chant. Like that's super stupid. This is an hour and 49-minute album.
Okay, you're supposed to give your review. If you want to debate me, you just look. Wait. You just started the conversation saying, "Chill." You just established me to have more knowledge than you. Why would you even direct me? You see, I sat here. I didn't say anything. Don't direct me. Won't correct me because I have receipts for that. So I'm just saying. If you want me to have the receipts,
listen. This whole album is bullshit, double booty chick, diarrhea milkshake. Shout out co-host 3000. All right, so I will fuck with Praise God. I'll fuck with Jonah. I'll fuck with track 15 Donut. All right, Jesus Lord 17. Good. After that, Lord I Need. All right. Track 22 to 27. Come to Life, No Child Left Behind, Jail Part 2, OK Part 2, Jonia Part 2, Jesus the Lord Part 2. I will say Jonia, the first one, was also pretty good. Everything else, stupid. I think Kanye is so far up his own ass. I think he is so, all his music is pretentious. This is all, I'm not going to say like it's fake Christian spiritual music. It's not. It can come from the heart, but Kanye is so delusional in his messages, what he thinks right now. I feel like he is so, like, to having a house, working out, doing live streams, Marilyn Manson, all that nonsense. I'm like, I don't know if his head's in the right space. I don't know if he needs to be on some meds. I know that we gave him a break when his mom died. I get that. I know he's going through a divorce right now. Like, I get that. And this is still me trying to separate the artist from the art. But they both play a hand in hand on where his music right now is. And I feel like him creatively, there are parts of golden age Kanye still in there. He can still make good music. He's still a good lyricist. He's still a good singer. He still can be creative. But I feel like he has so many yes men that he can just put whatever where it just sounds like nonsense. And I don't agree with that. Now, maybe because I come from a younger generation to where, like, I don't know how everybody else is. I'm 25.
Remember, I'm just all I said. I didn't give it a rating. All I
Okay.
said was better than CLB. That's all I said.
I disagree. I disagree because you know what? Like what? And I'm probably the least big music fan. Funny because I'm on a music podcast mostly, but I'm probably the least big music fan on the podcast right now. And when I jumped into this album, I got bored. This felt like a chore. This felt like work to me to get through a project just to talk about it. But I did not enjoy listening to 80% of it. Now, and I have it on my computer right now. I'm looking at all the tracks. Now, the minute you jump into Drake, Champagne Poetry, already a hit. I would say my top songs right now off Drake's album. I feel like for Kanye, for the most part, he is either low tier mid or straight up ass. For Drake, he is at best high tier mid, if not great. He has some of the best features on this album, hands down. Um, in the Bible, beautiful. Girls want girls, beautiful. Love all right. Fair trade, all right. Way too sexy, way too sexy, all right. Those are still songs like those songs are who all right. Those are still songs that get played in the club. They'll get played at the bar. They'll get played in the car. They'll get played in the radio way before Kanye. Listen, you can't tell me right now. You cannot play
You know,
TSU without having that be stuck in
I
your
don't
head.
want to hear it here and there. I don't want to hear it anywhere.
Yeah, way too
My
sexy
favorite.
is going to get
Listen,
played, but it sucks. Fucking sucks.
it's catchy. It's catchy is what it is. But I guarantee you, there's not one catchy song on Kanye's album. Like you want to make it, it wants to be fake spiritual. I'm sorry.
In the
Mm.
Bible,
My
in the
hot
Bible, good until it gets to the fucking end when it gets to Giveon. Giveon, shut the fuck up.
And I agree with you.
Or you're talking
You know
about
what,
a dude that you're talking about the dude that preached with YOLO.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
And
Hey,
it
listen.
sounds
My
like
favorite
a
track.
crackhead or something. Shut it up. Like, till they got to shut up.
Josh, my favorite track on this album, Knife Talk. I'm a big 21 Savage fan. And for like Knife, bro, listen. Knife Talk, my favorite track on this album. I will play Knife Talk. I'll play TSU. I'll play, listen, bro, Get Along Better hits me hard, okay?
Hmm.
All these, like, there's so, 7 a.m. on Bright Path hits me hard. Like, all these songs I'm right here, like, I've played this all day at work. I'm not supposed to have AirPods in while I'm talking to customers at my job. I work retail. But it's like the entire day, I was Drake all day, loving it. On the car ride home, loving it. Playing it before the podcast, loving it. Donda, I listened to Donda 20 minutes before you called me, Josh. It still felt like a chore.
mm.
I
Okay.
still feel like the album is bad. I feel like Kanye is past his prime. I thought maybe the Kardashian thing escalated him to more craziness. This whole Trump thing escalated him to more craziness. I feel like he could probably bring out his old school golden age skill if he really sat down, isolated himself, and got to work in the booth. But still, I don't know how to label his album. Is it pseudo Christian rap? Like what is this? What message are you trying to bring
Christian
to
rap.
this?
I
Like
mean,
it's
it is, but I understand. I respect where you're coming from how you feel about it, because, like you said, you don't relate to it. It's some shit that Kanye talk about in there that's like Chicago shit. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the swap meet shit.
So,
You know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah.
little shit that he say that like I like. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's that too. I'm you know if anybody
what is he talking about? What is he talking about?
biased. So it's like I'm gonna support a Chicago motherfucker for anything, but at the same time, if CLB was better, I would say CLB is better,
All
but
right.
I just can't.
Okay.
Okay, so
Uh,
chill. Tell me right now, what is track one down the chain? What is he talking about?
He's introducing the album.
Donda, he says he has the girls chant Donda fucking 56 or 58 times.
52 seconds. Yep.
No, 58 times. Like they say her name 58 something times or something like that because of her age. That's where she died.
Oh.
The
Okay.
age she died at.
Oh.
You know what
Um.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, hold on, real quick, Josh. Let me say
Okay.
one thing. And then, it's a little. I mean, Nick, have you ever listened to any Kanye album?
I think I listened to a lot of his early stuff. I listened to College Dropout. And I think that was the last album.
Mm.
Okay. So, you know, even with this, I want to say this. A lot of this media shit is smoke and mirrors. If you listen to the succession of his albums, my guy, Kanye was talking about cheating and being divorced on Yeezus. If we
Right.
want to get into that, and you want to say, "Oh, Kanye done lost his way. I don't know where his music has been." Let's follow his career. This shit is old, bro. This shit is old, and the shit that Drake talk about is old. But this just they do the same shit. This is two Doctor Strange motherfuckers. It's just for everybody. One of them is gonna sound better. One of them is gonna be better. I might fuck with the Doctor Strange trying to get his chick back. Doctor Strange trying to stop, bro.
I'm just picturing a Doctor Strange album right now.
It's the same. Nick,
Uh,
it's the same. I'm looking over at you really in the room. It's the same. These are two of the same type of artists, bro, competing with each other. And guess what? It's lacking along the way.
So I'll come in here a little bit here. So with Kanye West Donda, just kind of my thoughts. So, there's kind of been a build up between him and Drake because there was kind of reports they were going to drop at the same time, and kind of have a compete, and then there's kind of a beef going on. Seems like between them, where Kanye released Drake's address, and then some people say, well, his address is kind of already public, but he like put out his address online and everything like that, then deleted it. And with Donda, listening to it in this, both songs are plus 20 tracks, 20 plus tracks. And this what these artists are doing kind of now. I believe the term is like stream trolling, or kind of stream kind of thing like that. It's basically what artists do. They put on multiple songs, like 20 plus songs, in order to get more streams on their album, because that's how you get more money, more revenue. So the more songs that you have on the album, then the more chances like you're.
That shit.
Yeah, the more chance.
Or put a single out and let it run for fucking 2-3 weeks, and the single is hot. So by the time the single already ran up fucking 1 million streams, it's gonna jump on your album, and that also helps yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Donda has 27 tracks. Certified Lover Boy has 21 tracks. So yeah, that's what kind of artists do sometimes. And then like more number of songs, and then it'll be added to playlists. Like Spotify or Apple Music has all these different playlists that you can have that they curate, and then that they can put it on there. So that also increases the number of streams you can get for your album and everything like that. So with Donda, I do like Donda better than Certified Lover Boy. I think, even kind of mid-tier Kanye is still somewhat better for me than Drake. I like Drake when he's delivering kind of straight bars, you know what I mean? I mean, my favorite Drake album is If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. That's my favorite Drake project. I think my favorite Kanye project overall is probably Graduation still. I still really love Graduation. When Elijah mentions that, like we haven't seen great Kanye, I will say that his collab with Kid Cudi called Kids See Ghost, I thought was really great. It was a 4-track EP, and that was absolutely fantastic all the way through. All the songs, like their collaboration was amazing together. Him and Kid Cudi's, it was really fantastic. I really appreciate that. And things like Pablo, I thought was also a really solid album. I thought was also really good. With this Donda, oh, you didn't like Pablo? Okay, but I thought it was pretty good. So with this Donda, but I mean that was that one track. Okay, what I mean? That was that one track. You know what I mean? And then he had the "I Love You" Kanye track on there as well on Pablo.
It's like the Future's verse, King's Dead.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Kanye.
But on this Donda album, so I'll tell you the songs I did like. I like God Breathed. I like Off the Grid. I like Hurricane. I thought Praise God was pretty good. I like Okay. I like Junior. I thought that was also great. Like it's kind of a hype song. Junior is definitely like a hype song that you listen to, you get up into. I think that's definitely much I'd like a lot. And then also Chill spoke about how like a lot of these albums have the crossover, because like you have a lot of artists that are on Kanye's album that are also on Drake's album, like Jay-Z, like Young Thug, like Lil Baby.
Wait. Oh, real quick, not the crossover. I'm saying a lot of songs are being remade. Like a lot of songs are the same shit. Like Devil in the Blue Dress and what's the name? From the other shit is like remade in Donda with Westside Gun, and then in Drake, fucking he tries to remake fucking You Used to Call Me on my with fucking Too Sexy.
You
like
think
it's shit that they remade on there that I just don't like, and yeah, the feature shit too.
Stretch. I'm gonna say Stretch. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did like those songs quite a bit on there. And then moving on to Drake's album here. I think it was just kind of boring for me, kind of dull for me. I think some of the songs like Knife Talk, like Elijah mentioned, I do really like 21 Savage. I do like that song Knife Talk. But I think I've heard better. It seems like it's trying to do a rendition of a 21 Savage song, like a better, like a lesser version of something he did with like Metro Boomin, or something he did like with them. It feels like a lesser version of that. Way Too Sexy. I like the song. Again, it's another type of hype song that you would listen to. Future coming on, Young Thug coming on. I think it's actually works pretty well.
At the bar, 1 a.m.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty good to listen to as well. What else we got here that I kind of liked a little bit here? I like the song with Rick Ross. You Only Live Twice with him, Lil Wayne. I thought that was a good song. I thought I appreciate that.
Minus Lil Wayne. Minus Lil Wayne.
Minus Lil Wayne. Okay, but
Oh, that whole verse was like,
okay. But yeah, I
Man,
thought that. Oh, was who said something?
I said, damn. I said, damn.
Oh,
I
okay.
did. I like Rick Ross did his like Rick Ross did his element. Like he did his thing. I fucked with it. But Lil Wayne, like he's such a weird lyricist now in his older age, man. Like I just like what he was rapping about, what he was saying in the song, like it just kind of made it feel weird. Like I just wasn't vibing with it. That's just kind of me. I'm sorry.
Dog,
Okay.
I don't want to. First of all, dog, Drake is my age. I don't want to. It's time. I'm tired of you fucking having fun. I'm fucking having fun.
Let the man look, bro. That's listen. Okay, this is maybe the age gap between me and y'all because I feel like this
Bro,
is
I'm not
like
making music for Elijah. You need to make music for me, and then make music for y'all. Think about y'all second. All this bullshit. No, Nick. I'm make use that word. I mean, y'all use it. No,
so you're telling me
no.
right now
This album is
TSU and didn't love it. Listen to TSU and didn't love it.
get
Come
to
on
the
now.
middle. And Josh is telling you right now, this album is so fucking dry when you get to the middle.
Yeah,
Come on, man. I'm
but
sorry.
yeah, I mean, besides for the songs I mentioned, I thought the rest of the album kind of was forgettable. Personally, I didn't really like much else on the project. Again, like Fair Trade with Travis Scott feels like a lesser kind of Travis Scott type song. You know what I mean? That again, he'd be better on something else. You know what I mean? It feels like a lesser type of version of that. Um, and then as far as the music, I mean, Drake is kind of making now. You say he's 34. Maybe he should make different types of music. I mean, I just think that it's just not hits. I mean, I think what I mean. These are just songs that just maybe like as far as a track list just isn't really all that connecting to me. You know what I mean? And it just is kind of just not as good for me. And then even as far as like these hits in here, yeah, I think these are some of like when I look at other Drake albums because I've listened to other Drake albums before. Even like when it comes to other hits, these aren't as strong as his other hits that he's had before in the past. You know what I mean? It's definitely not up there with some of the songs that he's had. And I think that with this project, from the album cover to the whole kind of promotion leading up to it, it's just kind of just like, I mean, what I mean, and I've seen kind of stuff on Twitter when people have been pointing out, it's like you're 34, like bro, you're 34, you know what I mean? Him cutting the heart into his head, and then, and there's some cringe bars on here, like he says, she says I'm a lesbian, and then I say I am too, like what the I'm a lesbian too, like what is that?
That was funny. I like that. That was funny.
That was cringe. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like Drake is he him lesbian. It's like what the hell are you talking about, bro? Like
That
come,
was funny to me. I got it. That was a joke. I kind of.
you know what I mean? It's
I
like
mean,
yeah.
Bullshit.
I,
Bullshit, man. And I really want the Drake album to be good. I'm telling you,
Hey,
I'm
at
for
least he, hey,
Drake
at least
album.
at least the album's not 27 him thirsting out, right?
you
No,
are not that man.
same. It's the same. It's the same. It is the same, Nick. It is the same. It's the same. I can't keep saying that. It is the same. You don't have fucking Lemon Pepper's freestyle. You don't have fucking the song with fucking Brent Fayez. You don't have like these fucking bangers. And then you have this fucking like the first 1, 2 tracks, the killing tracks in the Bible is good. Give me come on, fucks it up. And you just fucked the whole album up, bro. I
yeah.
watched
All right,
Academics heard that shit last night. He cried. I understood why. Because as a
Josh,
fan,
can I ask
he
you
said that
something?
shit be good, but
Okay.
it's not.
Sure, there, Elijah. Sure.
Josh, okay. So, all right. So let me ask you. Okay, Kanye's album, Drake's album. What? So you said like Drake comparatively to his last couple albums, he doesn't have hits. If you were to designate the set hits on this album and designate the set hits on Kanye's album, what would they be? I know you had the list up. I have the list up too.
Okay, so like I said, I think the hits on this Certified Lover Boy. It's not well. When I say Drake hasn't had hits, I mean he has had hits before. And then even with his
Comparatively.
yeah with his recent stuff, he still has good hits. But with this one, so okay, so off of Certified Lover Boy, so the stuff I think is good. So like I said, I like Way Too Sexy. Could be seen as corny to some people. Could be seen so could be like his own kind of how like Chance the Rapper had Hot Shower or Handsome could be like this is Drake's own Certified Lover Boy. This is his Hot Shower or something like that. You know, how corny that is. Even though,
Yeah,
listen, I'll admit I kind of like Hot Shower a little bit. I kind of like that song just a little bit.
I do too. It's catchy.
Yeah. But okay, so I like Way Too Sexy. I like Knife Talk. You know, like I said, lesser 21 Savage type of track. I like the You Only Live Twice with Lil Wayne and Rick Ross. Um, I like. I think I like the song with Kid Cudi's okay. The song with Ty Dolla Sign is okay. And that would be it for me. Moving on to Donda. Let's see.
Really? Okay.
I like Off the Grid. Thought that was really good. I like Hurricane. I like Jonah. I like Okay Okay. I like Junior. Let's see, what else do I like? I like Praise God. I like Jail. I thought that was pretty good. What else here? I like Pure Souls. I thought that was pretty good. I also like the different parts of like Jesus Lord, Okay, Okay, Part Two, because the differences
Yeah.
between like the Part One and Part Two of the songs, different verses. He might be Kanye still might be tinkering with this album even after it's released, like he did with Pablo. You know, where he
Hmm.
goes and adds different versions and audio mixes and all of these things like that. Like how many different versions of Pablo are there? It's like what? Like it's like Blade Runner. It's like 18 different editions of Blade Runner. It's like 18 different editions of Pablo, something like that. So, but Chill and Elijah, if you guys want to give your final thoughts and rating for the album.
Go ahead, Elijah.
All right. Donda gets a 3 out of 10 for me.
Wow, 3 out of 10. Whoa.
3 out of 10 for me. I will
Damn.
say that the part two songs, like literally the part two songs, a couple of the beginning songs were like passable. And part two goes like, okay, I like this. Like I'm into this. I like this. I like the lyrics in this. I feel like the sound. I can play this anywhere and enjoy it. I can look forward to it. I can add it to a playlist if I wanted to. Everything else, I feel like it's nonsense. I feel like it really is just the key word here for me is a bunch of nonsense. Like he got in the booth, said whatever, people gave him a thumbs up, published it. Like, I don't really care for it. I'll admit that I won't say Drake is stagnant. I won't say Drake is gotten to the point where he's kind of in his own lane or overplayed or just kind of gotten one set. Like Chill says, like he's too old to be doing this. Like no, like this is still a sound that people enjoy and people look forward to it. I'll give Certified Lover Boy a solid 7.5
Seven and a
out of
half.
10 for
Whoa.
me. 7.5 out of 10 for me because there are a lot of songs on here that like not every song on the album I love, none that I hate, none that I hate, not that I love. There's a lot of stuff that I love that I'll get hyped to, I'll enjoy. You can play it around me, I'll like it. But for me, I'm the kind of guy where like I'll drive to work and commute to work. I'm in the car a lot. If you play these songs around me, I'll still vibe out to most of the music. If I hear Kanye, I get mentally annoyed, 100%. And then that's how I feel.
Okay. Chill.
Would you give CLB?
I gave CLB at 7.5.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean,
I didn't praise it.
I'm not
I didn't.
judging.
I ain't dick riding. Like people think I'm dick riding. I'm not.
7.5. Understand? Get it? I'm not knocking that, man. Shit, that's Drake. It gives you something, like you said. You like the shit that he gives back to. That's cool. But it's just an age thing, man. That's all. We both found Drake at the same time, maybe, or it doesn't even matter what time we found Drake. But it was the fact that at our age where we found Drake, you know what I'm saying, and,
Right.
and what part of we found Drake at? I found Drake in the Lil Wayne era where Drake was just a smidget, and he just comes
Doing
in
the
and gets,
doing the doing the hand thing.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So what the fuck? I
Yeah.
gotta close my door. But other than that, man,
CLB, I'll rate that first, man. CLB, man, I give CLB a six, bro. I give CLB a six. Just to be honest, because like I said, it's a lot of songs that are good in that shit, but it's just carbon copies. You know what I'm saying? It's just carbon copies. And then it's just a lot of songs that are carbon copy that are okay, and at the same time they are annoying. So and then it's a lot of it's cool to do extra shit on your music, but it's sometimes, and Kanye gets at that point too, where sometimes you do extra shit and just like, all right, my God, I don't really need all that. Like you really let me know this shit is 8 minutes long, you know what I'm saying, or whatever,
Right.
or
Yeah.
even a fucking couple of seconds long. But it's just you really let me know in the mood that I'm in. So I give it a six. Now, Donda, I give it a 6.5. And I feel like it's just still gonna, like I said, it's still gonna land and where it's gonna land, where it's gonna be around Yeezus, and people are gonna listen to that over Yeezus because it is slightly better, slightly bangs more. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit more hip hop uh, driven still. You know what I'm saying? Like how when you go back to fucking his other church album, and motherfucker can still play. What's that one shit when he was riding the ATVs? God
Oh,
knows
oh, fucking
you like
fucking Bound.
Bound. That's from Yeezus. I'm talking
Oh
about the
shit.
Pastor Church album. I think it's called Lord Please or some shit. He was riding around in ATVs or some shit. And you know what I'm saying? He was just wild now. He's with his pops. Pops. And I can tell you why Josh loves fucking like songs like fucking God Breathe. God Breathe, that's one thing, Elijah. God Breathe sounds like a fucking Chicago song. I can see motherfuckers footworking to that. That's a footworking song. That's a footworking song. It's a footworking song. That is a footworking song. So I can see why when you listen to it, you be like, oh man, I don't fuck this, man. Get the fuck out of this. This ain't what I work out to. Fucking can't send pictures to Danielle too. I can't.
Oh,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like, I get it. I get it. I fuck with you. I fuck with you. I fuck with you. But I get
nah,
it.
nah,
I
I get
get
it.
it.
It's
Get
funny.
it. Yeah, I fuck with you. You slept in my crib. You know what it is. But yeah, like fucking like yeah, it's like I understand why when you listen to shit like that, it'll be like, man, what the fuck is Kanye doing? It sounds stupid as shit. But when I listen to Way Too Sexy, I'll be like, man, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing? And even when I listen to Way Too Sexy, I think this, and I'll be done. I'll think this. I think that okay, this is stupid, but this don't got shit to do with his origin, his city, who he is. So like when I listen to motherfuckers, I need to know who you is. When I hear like you used to call me on my, that's fucking soca, that's fucking Toronto shit. All right, man. So it's like fucking, you get me? So like fucking like that's what that like that way too sexy shit. What the fuck is that?
I, I that's all.
So I said so 6 and a six
I
point
can
five.
I cannot be mad at your rating for Certified Lover Boy and Donda. You get a 6.5. I'm not your defense of it. I disagree, but your rating of it fair for me.
I
um.
have to give it that. I have to give it that at this point because it's early and I'm still excited about both of them. So I still like to go
Yes.
back to. So
Okay. So I'm just gonna give my rating here. So, Donda. I think Chill's correct. I am gonna give it six, 6.5 for me. I think there's some really good things to like about the project. Really like I mean Kanye's great producer, right? Great at really making beats. Great at kind of making music in general, even if it is not his best thing. And even as far as
Mhm.
his recent stuff, like I said, Kids See Ghost, I think is amazing. I love Kids See Ghost with his collab with Kid Cudi. I would love to see a Kid Kat, another Kid Cudi and him album together, collab together. I think they work perfectly together. And this one, there's obviously a lot of kind of themes of religion and gospel music has influenced his work, but that's been a lot in a lot of his work also prior, so it's not anything recently new since he's been born again or anything like that. I mean, that's also been a heavy thing in his music before. I'm not particularly religious myself, but I don't mind it in music and everything like that, and the way Kanye does it,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty nice. And
Very choir heavy. Yeah.
yeah, and 27 tracks, very long album, and again, I think with all these kind of different tinkering going on with the album and everything, a lot of that is also the additions of different part twos of songs and everything that different verses and everything that you could have also just put out later, or that's fine as well to have it on here. So I think it is correct. I mean, 6.5 is kind of where I would put Donda. Certified Lover Boy, Drake Certified Lover Boy. There's a few kind of good songs on here, solid songs. Overall, just kind of had mixed feelings about it. Not all that way into it. I haven't really loved the Drake project. I don't think since maybe if you're reading this, it's too late. So for me, I would give Certified Lover Boy a 5 out of 10 for me.
Hello. Me off my friends list. Hold on. What's Facebook?
But yeah,
See,
I'm gonna give it a 5 for me out of 10. That's how. Yeah.
and Elijah, I understand it, man. It's like if I was like for real, if I was where you're at, and like I would probably maybe feel the world about that. No, I wouldn't. No, if I was still the same age, I probably would. I would feel the same fucking way. I would still get to the same fucking scores, even if I was your age. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like at this point,
I tried to relate to you. I
close.
just
No, it's fine. I feel like we're not super close in age. And Nick, I don't know how old you are, but I know that
Yeah,
Josh
I'm
and Phil
20.
are about.
I'm gonna be 27 in October.
Oh yeah, so he's older than me. All right, so like, Josh and Chill, you're both in your late 20s, 30s, right?
I'm 26.
I'm old, man. I'm 35, man. I'm old.
Yeah, Josh, you're older than me. Oh my god.
Man.
That's why I'm so surprised. So, like, I get what Chill's point. Where like, I do not disagree with you because we do come from different age groups. So like, I can get how you vibe with the song or both albums different ways. So I get that. I really do feel like maybe I'm so used to this. I won't say new wave of rap because I think new wave of rap is like your Trippy Red or Ski Mask or your people who are not new, but like new-ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of stuff
that's
here
a,
on TikTok and YouTube that's trending.
but I
But
said if I was your age, Elijah, I would feel the same way, bro. I feel really real. I would feel the same way.
yeah, and it could be a location too. Like it could be a location. Like Chicago
Yeah,
could be a different
that's the
vibe
location
where
thing, and
yeah,
it's just better, bro. It's just a better. It's just a more entertaining album. It really is. It just is. It's just a more entertaining. Drake impresses me for the beginning. I don't need a gesture. I don't need to listen to a fucking gesture album where I get bored at you and I'm ready to fucking kill you. Take them to the fucking alligators. I don't need that. Quiet as kept. Don't impress me
I'm
with the first songs and be innovative, bro. Be innovative all the way through. And Kanye sound like a fucking grown man, so I respect him for that. That's it, bro. That's it's
you're
just it's two people. It's two
you're
shots of
you're
the same.
saying you're saying that he's innovative. Is he innovative or is Kanye innovative in this album? Yes or no? Is he? But is he really?
No.
All right.
But guess what? You know what he does? You know what he does with this album? You know what he does
What's
with
that?
this album?
What's
He
that?
keeps he keeps the same energy all the way through. This shit gets more dreary and dreary, especially when it goes into part twos. I'm listening to fucking scary ass Marilyn Manson, the rape guy or whatever they want to call him, and then I got these dark fucking bars from fucking Deluxe. Have you ever heard fucking Styles P first album, The Gangster and the
No.
Gentleman? My knife and my gun, my pistol talk to me. Stop it.
Again, your knowledge trumps mine again, but at the same time, no. The key word here is same. So you admit this album is very samey. Every song is very samey in this whole entire album.
Cause I know Drake has darker material than that. I know Drake can dig down a little bit deeper. I know Drake can be a little bit meaner than what he can be. And if you're gonna call
But you
yourself
some dark.
if you're gonna call yourself a real rapper, I'm tired of it. Stop fucking trying to integrate. Just stop integrating. Just be a rapper. Give me what you just said, Josh. Give me if it's not if I'm dying, it's too late or whatever the fuck you read
if you
this.
yeah, if you read it still, yeah.
Josh, we'll see what happens with well, I guess in a couple of years how people look back on these albums, but also with how do you track album success by ratings, by viewership? How do you track it?
I mean, album success. I mean, I don't really go by. I don't care about streams or numbers. I care about more like fan reaction to it and whether people still are going to be listening to it decades and decades later. I mean, people still listen to Drake's older stuff. Still Take Care. A lot of people still love Take Care. There's a lot of people still play Take Care all the time. And everything like that. So, and then same thing with Kanye's music. I mean, a lot of people still love his old stuff. People still say College Dropout like Nick. A lot of people still say Graduation. You know, a lot of people still say his projects like that. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think these are not. I don't think either one of these are fantastic albums. Like, even though I'm saying I'm liking Donda more than Certified Love, but I don't think it's a fantastic album. I don't think he's particularly innovative here or doing anything revolutionary. But I think it's still a solid album. It's okay for me.
Okay.
Uh,
Here, let's move on because Nick's getting bored.
yeah. So I'll leave it up to Nick. Nick, do you want to do Mortal Kombat or do you want to close it out and then leave Mortal Kombat for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, dude, can you do the show tomorrow? Could
me?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can.
Fuck yeah. Let's wrap it up because we're pushing near.
Yeah, this is. I think
And we gotta say my girls text me is like, hey, we're trying to come home. We don't. It's like, fuck. I've been trying to like wait. Just like,
okay.
Sorry, y'all. That's my fault.
nah. It's all good.
No.
Okay.
It's all good. This
Like,
is my piece right here. This show, this chaotic ass show is my.
Yeah. All right. So okay. So yeah, this is pushing on one of our longest shows ever. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, this was really great. Really great energy on the show.
This was fun.
Yeah, this was a lot of great. We had a lot of people come by. Thanks again, so much for the people in the chat donating the bits, subscribing. Thanks a lot for stopping
donating, gifting subs.
by. Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you, Viv, for subscribing. Thank you, Javon. Thank you. Who gave bits? You probably got.
Early
Morning Lover. Thank you.
Morning Lover. Yeah, very good. So yeah, Javon Good also gave 20 bits. Early Morning Lover gave some bits. So yeah, very much so. Yeah.
That's that's good, brother.
Oh, that's Goodwin's brother. Oh, okay. So that's Justin's. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, fuck yeah!
I didn't know
My
that.
guy, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, because I've been watching his streams because he doesn't talk on his streams and doesn't show his
He
face.
does.
He talks on his streams.
Yeah, we talk all down there.
Okay, because I don't know, maybe it's too low. I don't know because I go in there and I comment and then I donate bits and stuff like that. I don't ever hear him say anything. Oh, that's
You
my.
be commenting and leaving. I talk to you too. I don't talk to you. He coming in. Look, he be coming in, and he'll come in and say something, and then I'll be like, hey, Tune. I said yeah to that email, and motherfucker don't even come back no more. I'll be like, where you go?
No, I'm still there. I have it up in another tab. Yeah, I'm still there though. Yeah, I donate bits though. But every time I'm in the stream though, I donate bits though. Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, I have it up on my PS5 on my there. I have it up on the screen. Things like that.
I know. Fuck.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I got a screenshot video.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, this was a great stream. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Elijah. Thanks for coming by, Chill. Very much so.
Thank you so
This
much.
was
I really
some
appreciate it.
great discussion. Probably one of the I'd say one of the best shows we've done in a minute. Or
Yeah.
at least
Oh,
one
really?
of the most fun ones.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So one more time.
This was
If you guys could just talk about yourselves and talk about your links and all that stuff like that. So Elijah, go ahead.
I got you. Yes. One more time. Elijah Bell, or call me Eli, from Back to the Topic. I represent Back to the Topic with my buddies Pat and Walt. Music, trending topics, movies, whatever you guys want to talk about, trending topics, things like that, on a podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts. SoundCloud, YouTube, YouTube back to the topic. Got our own merch on Spreadshirts. Follow us on TikTok. I think our main platform right now is TikTok, so we're hitting TikTok pretty hard. 41,000 followers. So
Yeah.
sometimes I record a video, sometimes they record a video. Most times we're kind of re-uploading clips from other places. So for the most part, yeah, you like the energy that we have here, come check us out. We're a fun group of guys. We'll have a guest on all the time, different artists locally. Now that Josh and Nick introduced from Discord, I might try to get other people on. Josh, I might try to
Yeah,
have you
sure.
and Nick guest star on ours thing once I figure it out, and hopefully Julian and other people too. So yeah, that's us.
Okay.
Absolutely, I'm down.
Yeah. Chill.
Man, I mean, shit. Yeah, just tune in to, I guess, to Digital Crates Radio. You might see my stream fuck up a little couple times, but I'll restart it and we'll keep it going. And what I'm saying, we talk about my mistakes on there. And we sometimes shit, I might turn that shit to a podcast. So, follow me. It's about to be October. So this is horror season for me. So I'm gonna do in the Discord, bro. I'm gonna start doing like just horror movies in Discord, man. We finna start watching Hellraisers, like 4, 5 Hellraisers. You know what I'm saying? October. I love Halloween. So I want to
Yeah,
start doing that. So yeah, and then other than that, I got another playlist coming with this fashion brand. So, you know, be putting that
Damn.
out. And it's very nice. My first time. And if anybody want to give me a Funko deal, please give me a Funko deal because I collect all black Funkos and I would love to get like a little deal with them. They give me a little bread and give me a Funko deal and get these all black Funkos out to the nation. Nick, I'm gonna end up seeing you one day in Japan because Tokyo is one of the places I need to go before I die.
Fuck yes.
same,
Okay,
same.
I bought Tokyo Drift on DVD, and
kind of sound like the dad from Get Out. It's like, yes, I bought Tokyo Blu-ray.
I
Yeah.
I'll
did,
vote
man.
for Obama.
I bought
Yes, I love.
Hey, I bought it the night of. I watched it that night, and guess what? I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning and I watched it again. So I was just so
Yeah.
amazed by that. But yeah, other than that, man, yeah, other than that, I appreciate coming on here. This was cool to actually do a podcast with people that I don't have to argue with all fucking day. Because if you ever seen what I tried to do on my stream at one time, those are like my close friends in real life, and it's just hard to talk to them fools. So yeah, this was cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey.
man. Everybody, go check out Chill during the month of Halloween, man. He's playing this scary music, his horrifying shit like Donda. You want to get terrified? Play that out.
Yeah.
Going
Hey.
all the way through.
Thank you, there, Goodwin. Who just he played the sound alert there that I have set up. That's the first time I ever heard it play on stream, so that's pretty good. The sound alert I use is from Anchorman, them singing "Afternoon Delight." So I have a clip of that and them for that little
shit.
bit. Yeah, for that little. Yeah, so he played that there. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, thank you, man. Nick, what about you? Where can people find you, man?
All right, find me Twitter, Instagram at Night and Day Nick. Josh, where can they find the show?
All right, so you can find us on all the socials there. We are on TikTok. Not as big as Elijah there with 30,000 followers, but we getting there. We're trying hard. You know what I
Getting
mean?
there.
41.
Yeah, 41,000. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Yeah,
Oh.
41,000.
My bad, my lord.
Yeah, 41,000 there, people on TikTok, but we're getting up there. You can see us on TikTok at The Afternoon Tune. You can also see us on Instagram. We're on Instagram at The Afternoon Tune as well. We're also on Twitter, twitter.com, The Afternoon Tune. You can check us out there. You can also send us an email at theafternoontune@gmail.com. You can also see us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group as well called The Afternoon Tune. Fan page and business page for the podcast. You can also check us out wherever you listen to podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. We're everywhere there. It'd be great if you leave us a nice review on the Apple Podcast. Help us get up there. And the kind of the ratings there. If you leave a nice 5-star review, give a nice detailed review of the show, That always helps. Also, we are, of course, we are on YouTube at youtube.com. The Afternoon Tune, good YouTubers there. Subscribe to us there. Follow us there. Comment if you can. Also helps. If you just want to have a good discussion. If you want to tell Elijah how wrong he is about albums or movies or anything like that. Just let the comments be known there. Let them fly. That'd be great there. So that'd be great. And also, of course, we're on Twitch, right? Streaming on Twitch right now. And we're on twitch.tv/The Afternoon Tune. You can find us there. Follow us there. Do what these lovely people are doing in the chat. Do the bits, do the subs. September going on. So trying to get some subs there. But yeah, very awesome that those people stopped by and did it and everything like that. Very much appreciated. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed the show. Loved having you guys on. Great energy. And yes, good one. Yeah, we'd love to have you on, man. Guest one of these days. That'd be pretty. Pretty great. You and Chill. That'd be pretty awesome, man. So, I'm gonna get out here. Tomorrow.
Yeah. What are we streaming tomorrow?
So tomorrow, we probably will do maybe 2 streams tomorrow. We got 1 stream going on. So the movie Karen is coming out. Where white women, they're the true. Yeah. They're the true
true supervillains.
True supervillain, true horror movie. So we have that coming out, so we can see if we can watch that and review that tomorrow, as well as we're going to do Mortal Kombat Battle of the Realms tomorrow. So see if we can do that tomorrow, and we're going to do a watch party. We're going to do our first watch party, and we're going to be watching Cinderella. That's on Amazon Prime, starring Camilla. Vivian, I think I asked her. She hasn't. I don't know if she's said a word or not. I know Sadie's can't come and Sarah can't come, but
come on, good. Karen equals White Candyman.
Pretty much, yeah, White Candyman.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm gonna see if so Viv can slide through something, or Jenna can slide through for the Karen review or something like that. She wants to see if they can do that. But yeah, so tomorrow maybe gonna do 2 streams where we review Karen and where we review Mortal Kombat Battle of the Legends. Elijah, you want to come through again maybe tomorrow, because we're probably going to be doing another late stream, probably around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to be doing it. And also we're going to be doing an Amazon Prime watch party for the movie Cinderella starring Camilla. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Is there anything I forgot? Anything I forgot to mention? Oh,
that watch party's going to go crazy. I'm going to the Conveni today to stock up on the alcohol.
Okay. All right. That'd be awesome. So,
anytime y'all want to have me, man, let me know.
Okay. Yeah. It was great having you on, man. It's the first time both these guys have been on. So these are some 2 brand new guests to the show. So it's been pretty awesome. So we're going to get out of here, people. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you love listening. And please don't forget to always stay tuned.
Stay tuned.